I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby,
Thank you, Kind King, for the 5 memberships. 07's in the chat, everybody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want nothing but lollipops. I want a wall of lollipops in my chat. You heard me. I want a wall of lollipops right now.
Represent the lollipop girl, lollipop girl, lollipop girl. We represent the lollipop girl, lollipop girl, lollipop girl. We represent the lollipop girl. We represent the lollipop girl, lollipop girl, lollipop girl. We represent the lollipop girl. We welcome you all to Much Get Lord. We represent the lollipop girl. We represent the lollipop girl. Dirty dog, the witch is dead. Wicked witch, murder witch. Dirty dog, the witch is dead. Wicked witch, fuck that bitch. We represent the lollipop girl. We represent the lollipop girl.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? Vaush has responded. First, let me say thank you, Kind King, for the 5 gifted. Teddy, thank you for the $4.99. And Janelle, thank you for the 2. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Okay, hold on. Was it fully prepared? Okay. All right, give me a second. Let me go grab. I forgot to grab my drink. It's a bottled drink, so I'm not pouring it. So it's literally me walking to my refrigerator and coming back. Okay. No uprisings while I'm gone. There's no ukulele. I can tell you that much. Oh, I'm already back. You can't uprise now. No uprisings. Haha. See, I told you it was going to be quick. It didn't take them that long to, Pastel, it didn't take them that long to freaking respond, huh? It's amazing what you do when, your career's online, I guess. I am definitely not a Southern Belle, Lord Bucco. That would be my co-host Bunny. She's the Southern Belle. I'm the mean Southern one. All right. Doop doop. Ladies and gentlemen, Vaush has uploaded, and it is called the Context Video. Context for what? I don't know. He even has chapters in here. From what I'm hearing, this is an hour and 41 minutes of oopsie, and et cetera, et cetera. So, we're going to listen to this at 1.5. Told y'all to do your homework. He may have, I don't know. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to start. Are you ready, kids? Are we ready to get started? There we go. Heck yeah. All right. Everything's good. Everything's good. I think everything's good. All right, let's go. Wait, let's cut the volume on first. That would probably be helpful.
Oh, I probably should have made a long time ago. There are 2 main reasons why I haven't. For one, everything we're about to talk about has been discussed over and over and over again on this channel, in live streams and in videos. Some of it has been discussed to death. Over-engagement with the topic has caused it to have a disproportionate influence both on my community and on the way people outside of my community perceive me and my channel. The second main reason I've been hesitant to make this video is because experience has taught me that, generally speaking, if folks want to hate you or distrust you or whatever else, it's pretty difficult to convince them otherwise. Sometimes, if you're unpopular enough, even if you've got a good point to make, just the attempt to change people's minds can come across as kind of self-incriminating. You actually ground them further in the positions they already have. You know, it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I have a feeling this whole video is going to be word salad. I have a feeling this whole video is going to be so damn I haven't watched this video. So I'm so expecting it to be nothing but word salad and just trying to push his intelligence onto people. Yeah, exactly, Borb. Exactly. Can this guy stop trying to act like he's smart for 1 second? Yes. Oh. Jesus, Lord.
It's one of those deals where the people who need to hear it won't listen, and the people who will listen don't need to hear it again. Let's get right.
Okay, so that's his way to skirting off the haters. Teddy for $4.99. Vaush's entire personality is word salad. True. Thank you for the $4.99, Teddy.
Right to it then. Let's not waste time. What am I actually talking about? Well, I hate to drop this on the people who just innocently watch me for my political content and don't engage in any broader community drama. Some folks online have called me a pedophile. Now, this in and of itself isn't actually that noteworthy. With the political climate being what it is, folks are getting accused of being pedophiles on Twitter left and right. It's pretty common. But some people have called me this way more insistently and a lot louder. So why? Remember how I said...
So, and that's him. Oh my God, did he in real time do what we all talked about that's being done. You know how we talk about how people just throw calling people pedos out and it's going to lose the meaning of the word? Did he just literally do that? Like push it off to the side because it doesn't mean anything? He in real time just did that.
With the political climate being what it is, folks are getting accused of being pedophiles on Twitter left and right. It's pretty common. But some people have called me this way more insistently and a lot louder. So why? Remember how I said self-defense can come across as kind of incriminating even if it's accurate or well-intentioned? Yeah, even though I've gone over all this before on stream or in videos, I wasn't exactly jumping at the bit to make a why I'm not a pedophile video. That's not... It's a rough subject, is what I'm saying. You know, that's one of the reasons why it's so effective as a smear, of course. It's just an incredibly difficult subject to engage with. So let's not waste any more time. We've got a lot to go through. What then is this video about? What do I have to say, and why do I want to say it? What are my goals in making the video? Well, the gist of it is this. When people accuse me of being a pedophile, they usually do so while presenting pieces of evidence, often clips from my live streams, that make me look bad. While I do think that a lot of the claims and pieces of so-called evidence used against me range from being uncharitable to outright dishonest, the fact remains that I have said some incredibly stupid fucking shit on this channel.
Yes, that's the whole point. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's up, Nicole? Yeah, there was kind of evidence there in your... Oh, dear God.
Especially really early on, like right when I started streaming. And I don't fault anyone for seeing clips from that and being suspect of me. You know, I wasn't doing myself any favors, I'll say that much. For a lot of them, such as the ones where I'm making a point that is overall good and like uncontroversial, but I do a bad job of making it, there's nothing for me to really like debunk, you know? It's not a takedown. It's more a matter of charity. You know, I have to go and look at these clips and explain, what do they mean, you know? What was I thinking? What was I saying? Is this clip like so dishonestly cut that, you know, no reasonable person would interpret it as looking bad of seeing the full context? Or was I saying really stupid shit? And
Oh my God, just get to the point. Okay, listen, we don't need all this. And I'm only 3 minutes in. We don't need all this. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? We don't need all this. How did people watch full live streams of you? The Knowledge Raccoon for $4.99. In 1908, George Smith made the first lollipop. He named it after a racehorse named Lollipop. Thank you, Knowledge Raccoon, for the $4.99.
I'm going to have to like work to explain what my thought process was at the time. And past that point, it's up to other people to either believe my charitable explanations or believe significantly less charitable ones. You know, that's up to them. In addition to some of the legitimately really stupid shit I've said, I'll also cover some of the more bullshit accusations.
Guess what? Guess what? Bad people do good things all the time. Bad people give to charities all the time. Bad people help others all the time. I mean, we see it quite regularly. Bad people with money do that all the time. All that shit has nothing to do with what was found on your computer.
Because I don't know, they're transparently bullshit, a lot of them. I feel like you would have to already dislike me to read anything from them. But, you know, a lot of it is that, so I need to sort of point that out too. So as far as I can see, there are 4 groups of people that I'm addressing here, more or less. The first group is my core audience, the people who have seen me address this and provide context for this and deal with this bullshit a million times. For a lot of them, all of this is a repeat. The second group of people is people...
Okay, but can we question why they have to do it a million times? Why for a million times? Why are they always sticking up for you? There has got to be something wrong when they're constantly sticking up for you with different people. It's not like they're sticking up for you against the same person over and over and over again. No, it's not that type of situation. Why is your audience constantly sticking up for you with different people? Bro, what?
Who just fucking hate me. I really don't know if there's much I can do to get across to those guys. I would like to. I really do think a lot of the hate is misguided, but ultimately that's up to them, right? I'm not magic. The third group is the massive, disaffected, disengaged, entertainment-hungry drama vultures who are just here because they think it's...
I guess I'm one of them drama vultures, and let me tell you, I just said it in another live stream, and I'll say it. I just said it in a live stream in the chat just like probably a half an hour ago. And I'm going to say it here. If you're in the news cycle, I'm going to talk about you. It's my job to do so. This is what I get paid to do. You could call me a drama vulture or a drama farmer all you want. Yeehaw, motherfuckers. Just saying. Just saying.
It's fun to watch people squirm. I see you. But welcome. A lot of this really has been like thoroughly addressed before, though, so I don't plan on doing much squirming, but there will be lots of self-debasement. So to you and to the people who just hate me, if you want to see self-debasement from me, there will be that.
I mean, true. At least I'm not being called the P word, huh?
So you can look forward to that, I guess. Yeah, and I know that even making a video like this can come across as pretty damning, just innately, but I really do hope that you take it seriously and try to be charitable, if for no reason other than because it is a pretty serious topic. And last, the fourth and maybe the smallest group of people watching this video are people who are genuinely neutral, or maybe coming in with that fair mind to see what all the drama's about. Or maybe they're from the normie side of my audience. You know, they don't engage with the drama and the community stuff that much. I don't know. This will probably be a weird one for them, but nonetheless, welcome. It's a pretty wide range of people as audiences go, but I'll do my best to explain things and go through all the drama in a way that's clear and straightforward. But
okay, can we get on with it? Can we please get on with it? Jesus goodness.
But also doesn't drag on too long. Now, without further ado, let's get to the content. We'll start with the absolute worst of it, the monstrously stupid argument that I made way back when I first started streaming that has since haunted me and irreparably tarnished my reputation. Now, this clip is the one that...
You know, obviously it hasn't tarnished you so much. I mean, how many subs do you have? How many subs does he have? You have 458,000 subscribers. It obviously hasn't tarnished you that much, sir. You're in the top 3 in Twitch poll. Twitch poll / BreadTube. You're the top 3. Obviously, you act like you were suppressed and only have 50K. You have almost 500,000 subscribers. You're top 3 of political streamers, and you act like you were suppressed. Sir, sit your ass down with your victimhood. What? Can I get more suppressed, please, so I can have 458,000 subscribers? I would love to have like 2K. You know what? Nicholas Diorio must be the most suppressed. He had 4,000 people watching him stream yesterday. He was completely suppressed. I can't believe y'all have suppressed him so much to have 4,000 people in his chat. Oh my God. How dare y'all? Yes, hashtag free Diorio. I would like to get suppressed. Can I get suppressed, please? Oh my God, let him cook. You know what? I'm almost half tempted to end this live stream now because it sounds stupid as fuck.
That I see cited most often when people are accusing me of being a pedophile. That's not even a little surprising to me, though. It sounds pretty bad.
In fact,
Yep.
and this is going to be a real hot take, I get to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography.
Like I said, pretty bad. This clip
Yeah, you were being a fucking debate bro. That's what you're doing. You were doing that stupid debate bro tactics, and that's why Twitch poll is dying.
is from right after I started streaming, so a significant portion of my career as a live streamer has been spent providing context for the clip over and over to many people and many audiences. I've addressed it so many times that it's turned into like a kind of running joke in my community, like a rake that I'm cursed to keep walking into over and over, and it hits me in the head. I often see people outside of my community, people who have seen this clip but not seen me address it, mock the idea that any context that I or anyone else could provide could possibly explain away something that sounds that bad. When they see me or my fans say that this or any other clip has been taken out of context, it comes across to them as an effort
What's up,
to
Marlon?
shoo away legitimate suspicion, you know, chastising people for having an opinion on something that looks bad. Like, you see a clip that looks bad of me, and then I or a fan of mine comes in, and we're like, no, you know, you need to familiarize yourself with like 50 hours of stream lore before you can have an opinion on that. I have seen people weaponize calls for context in that way, so I don't fault others for being like kind of suspicious of that or not taking it very seriously. Some people are just going to tune out right there. Now, don't get me wrong, the clip is bad. It's rhetorically bad, it's logically bad, it's obviously optically bad, and the broader argument that it's pulled from are bad in all of those ways too. But as for what the clip and the argument that it's pulled from say about me, I would like to make the case, if I may, that it does implicate me, but not as a pedophile, rather as a fucking idiot debate bro brain poisoned jackass.
If you hear loud banging during the playing of this video, it is going to be me banging my head against my metal desk until I either pass out or I'll start sounding loopy. I just want to go ahead and let y'all know now it may happen. Because I seriously want to throw something right now. Turn on the cam, Luna! Luna, shut up! Luna's like, wait, before you do it, turn on the camera. Well, I'm glad you're worried about me, Luna. What the hell? Oh my God, girl, I hate you. He is. He's acting like a professional victim. Yes, Muldoon. 100%. I mean, I guess I would get more views that way. Wait, I could become suppressed if I actually did that. Luna's just looking out for my channel, that's all. She's looking out for the growth of my channel. That's what a real viewer of mine does.
Because I took a perfectly fine argument. I think that, you know, when I explain it, the argument itself will make perfect sense at least. And I ruined it with edgy, contrarian, devil's advocate nonsense. So let me explain. I just started live streaming, and I was far more argumentative and belligerent and arrogant then than I am now. If you
Bro, you're all those now. I'm just saying. You're all those now.
can believe that. Over the background of my mediocre Dead Cells gameplay, an argument with chat on the subject of foreign labor and unethical production was getting increasingly heated. Just in case anyone watching doesn't know, many of the products that we buy from American companies on American store shelves are produced through supply chains that take advantage of what we could consider unethical business practices, you know, like bad workers' rights stuff. Often this takes the form of sweatshop labor, a practice near ubiquitous, for example, in the garment industry, where sewing...
Oh, dear Jesus God. Okay, listen. Dear people of Twitch Poll, I need y'all to learn something. Can y'all please, if y'all are going to do a drama video, can you just stick with the drama? I don't care about the politics of it all. I don't care. This mofo already started his video basically saying the P word doesn't mean anything. That right there was strike one for me. I hate it here too, Anne. I hate it here too.
Work is difficult to fully automate. This isn't just a foreign problem, though. There are garment sweatshops where workers make less than $2 an hour operating right now in Los Angeles, as an example. It's a broad issue. But American companies profit from even...
Nox Archive, thanks for the 2. Here's some monies for your pain, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it.
worse abuses. The mining of cobalt and the harvesting of chocolate and palm oil, those are three practices that are especially notorious for their use of child labor, frequently child slavery, frankly. You know, in practice, often just child slavery. American companies profit enormously from this because these, abusive work conditions, it keeps the cost of harvesting materials, of acquiring raw product, relatively low. And as a consequence of this, the suffering of children is built into the fabric of our economy. Of exploited workers broadly, to be sure.
Come
but like I said, it's a
on.
widespread problem.
I'm going to start spurging out like Bo Blacks in a second. I swear to God.
Global standard for labor rights by barring companies from selling their products in the United States if they or other companies they bought their product from fell below a certain minimum standard for labor rights. I still think that would be great, by the way, as complicated as it would be to implement and as unlikely as it is to happen. It's a doable thing, That's not like there's.
I don't know if I'm gonna make this whole video. I don't know if we're gonna make it, bro. I don't know if we're gonna make this video, bro. Yes, talk about the allegations. Yes, talk about the allegations.
It's precedent for that kind of action. It would make the world a better place. So anyway, there I was, belligerent, angry from arguing with chat. However much of a debate bro I'm known for being today, I swear to God, I was so much worse back then. I wanted to construct an argument that would effectively and succinctly convey the severity of the problem, how intertwined human suffering is with the regular products that we buy and use every day. Shock value was essential because I needed to prove how edgy and daring I was. And speaking of shock value, an example already exists of something so inextricably tied up in human suffering.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I hate you so much more now within the first 11 minutes and 55 seconds of this damn video than I did before I pressed play. And I hated you then. Okay? I hated you ever since you had the lolly you decided to download into a folder. I hated you then. But I hate you even more now, and I'm not even 12 minutes in the damn video yet. Teddy for, I don't know how much, $4.99. LOL, this guy is doing a response to his lolly horse drama and talking about labor rights. Yes! Xylie gets biased. The best Xylie, by the way. Member for 4 months. What do you mean you were worse back then? You're still worse, boss. Period, point blank, period. Just saying. Y'all. Hell yeah. Oh, thank you.
Offering that both its production and possession are illegal, child sexual abuse material. If we already know something that harmful should just be excised from society, couldn't we do the same for products that we know are made with child slavery at the very least? The parallel felt clear to me, and I wanted to really drive home the hypocrisy of the people arguing against.
Knox, I don't know if he's going to make a point anytime soon. Thank you for the 2. I have no clue, bro. I have no clue. But I do appreciate, what I do appreciate are the super chats. At least I can stop and read them and get my focus off for a second. Jesus Christ.
Against me, who said you were downplaying, I guess, the issue with the whole child slavery intertwined in our, economy thing. So,
In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I have yet to hear
Sammy Kenneth, thank you for joining the Just Saying squad. I appreciate it.
convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal. Actual child pornography. How's that for a hot fucking take? Now, to clarify on this take, as I feel it necessary to do so, we do not, in this country, typically criminalize people who have procured media or resources which were the product of abuse. It is not illegal to own necklaces that have slave diamonds or whatever, what are they called? Or blood diamonds? Yeah, all of our clothes produced by...
Bro, everything you just said, you could have just let this clip play out. You could have just let this clip play out. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Sweatshops are computers with silicon and lithium mined from literal fucking slaves. In our society, we have already deemed that people are not responsible for the mechanisms by which the media they consume and the content they engage with are produced. You like that argument? Ooh, you like that? You like that moral culpability? You're all worse than fucking CP owners.
Steven,
you like
true. We could be watching The Godfather Part 2, but no. We're sitting here watching Vaush.
that? No ethical consumption under capitalism. Shit sucks, right? But if we accept that argument for slave labor, then we definitely have to accept it for child pornography.
Yeah, there you go. My dumb goal here was to spark indignant outrage, to make people who downplay the immorality of unethical supply chains to...
No, I'm going to be honest, all right? I'm going to cut you off. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be honest. I think you've been hiding in plain sight this entire time. And you give yourself excuses for context. And I agree with President Sunday, because I think President Sunday had the best video on you. I think you have been preparing your audience to stick up for you and always say that you're out of context. I 1,000% agree with President Sunday. I think President Sunday had the best video on him. It wasn't all fancy. It wasn't all beautifully edited or anything, but it was straight to the point. He said what the problem was. He even said what the problem was for him personally. He said what the problem was with the audience, and I 1,000% agree with that, man. I don't always agree with President Sunday. I don't even typically can watch President Sunday, but damn it, that video wasn't good, and I will give due where due is needed. President Sunday wept. 100%. He absolutely deserves a W. Absolutely. W President Sunday. 100%. He absolutely deserved it for that video.
reflect on the harm they were enabling through comparison, or for them to, bluster and go, no, they're different. Child slavery is fine, actually, and look bad. It was meant to be like an invective, like something like, it's punchy.
Vaush, let me let you in on something, okay? Maybe because you're stuck in that little room for too much of your life, you don't understand this. When you over-explain things, you make yourself look more guilty. Over-explanation does not help. The best thing to do is go in, this is what I did, this is why I did it, I was either wrong or right, and either I'm sorry or fuck you. That's boom, 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 boom. That's it. All this over-explanation shit, it makes you look guilty. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I come from the real world, okay? I don't come from, internet land. I touch more grass in my life than I have ever been on the internet. If you were in front of my face saying this shit, I would look at you dead in your face and say you're lying. I don't believe you. I'm sorry.
It gets right through to people. Obviously, it didn't work. The only person I succeeded in making look bad was me, and that wasn't one of the goals. So, yeah, no, pretty bad. Because I really...
Yes, John Bon Zombie. He's watering down the conversation. He's using manipulation. Period, point blank, period. Period, point blank, period.
Really want to make sure that I'm being clear with my thoughts here, because I don't like being misunderstood, and being misunderstood kind of feels like my job sometimes. Just in case the bad logic of my brilliant little devil's advocate it's not coming across, let me give you an example.
Yes,
Imagine
please hit that like button. I would appreciate it. I'm doing this for y'all, people. I'm doing this for y'all. I am ready to bang my head up against my desk because this is brain numbing. I'm doing this for y'all.
Started my channel.
Well, thank you for hitting it already. I appreciate
with my audience about the hypocrisy of America making animal abuse a felony, but also allowing millions and millions and billions of animals to spend their whole lives in torturous captivity before being slaughtered for meat. I'm flustered, and I want to make a point. So I start saying that, hey, if we're all being morally consistent here, we wouldn't even have animal abuse laws, huh? Why protect animals at all, I would say? Since we're clearly so okay with them being tortured and killed en masse, why not be consistent and just do away with all animal abuse laws too, huh? Of course, in that example, I wouldn't really...
Bro, do you think it's a good point to even bring in animal abuse and animal laws? You literally said that you wanted to have sex with a woman as a horse. Now, that would kind of be animal abuse if you were the horse. Because the horse, as it would be you as the horse, once you became the horse, you wouldn't be able to give consent. So that would still be animal abuse. So what? Oh my God. Somebody, okay. All right. No, we're going to do this. Knox Archive for 2. Well, I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. I want a cigarette so bad. I'm about ready to pause this live stream, let y'all revolt me, run down to the corner store, get me a pack of cigarettes, and come back. Bro.
Be arguing for the removal of animal abuse
Thank you
laws.
for the
I'd be
2.
pointing out an apparent hypocrisy in animal welfare norms with an abrasive devil's advocate. The point would be to get people to sort of like angrily confront my position or reflect on theirs. Likewise, in real life, 5 years ago, I wasn't actually arguing for the legalization of child sexual abuse material. I was pointing out an apparent hypocrisy in child welfare norms and our allowance of materials produced through the harm of children in our stores,
VX for 2. I'm out of alcohol. This sucks. I hate this so much. Me too.
With an abrasive devil's advocate.
Okay, here we go. Next
bad,
point,
so
finally.
Bad. I have spent the past 5 years explaining it. And to be clear, it really is a bad argument.
But, a lot of guys in your position who are these kind of like philosophical types, they want to talk about the whole child porn thing and how it's just as bad as slave labor, I think was your argument.
Yeah, so that's one of the great philosophical debates of our time. Just can't keep it from
I don't know, what is it about smart guys that they feel like, I must rationalize child porn? Like, do you feel like it just, first of all, just for starters, that was heavily taken out of context, correct?
Oh yeah. Obviously it's gotten thrown through the dishwasher a bit as internet arguments go. The basic idea of the argument, the fundamental, which is like it's bad to participate in the consumption of any product which, as a necessary prerequisite for its production, mandates the abuse of children. Everyone would agree with that, unless people are literally pro-child abuse, I guess. But most everyone would agree with that. People just don't like the direct comparisons because in my case, it wasn't the most accurate one due to some like nitty-gritty detailed bits. And 2, it's like deliberately
I want to let everybody know, just because you talk like this, you don't sound smart. This doesn't make you sound smart. When you actually have points, that's what makes you smart. It doesn't matter what pretty words you put with it. You could have no education at all and still make good, solid points and sound smart because you have good, solid points. Using $20 words doesn't do it. And a lot of people are tricked by that. I would guess 458,000 people are tricked by that.
provocative, right? And that's the problem. You know, that comes up the same reason people make comparisons to Hitler during arguments. It's like the most provocative thing you can get to. Like you jump right to it. Like, well, how do I make a point about why X or Y about capitalism is bad? You know, cracks knuckles. Okay, I've got one for you. You know, and even if you're bulletproof on how you phrase that argument, people are going to get mad at you. But I wasn't. And if you're not, people will get more mad at you.
And I have had to explain it so many times.
The vegan gains debate, that's a solid F. Not only did I not make my arguments well, at one point I made my anti-child pornography argument so poorly that it got clipped out of context and people are using it as an argument that I support child pornography. My basic argument is that, like, why is child pornography bad? Because to produce it, you have to hurt children. Because it hurts people to produce it, yeah? Producing child porn requires harming a child. The argument I'm making is that it frustrates me that liberals recognize child pornography as bad. Great, nice, well done. But then they're really, really defensive of, like, global commodity production chains that involve...
Yeah, is it slavery? Okay, that's 101. That's a one-on-one comparison because child actors and influencers are technically working and abused, whereas the children who assemble the phones and mine the cobalt, they're also working and abused. That's a one-to-one comparison. Exactly. Done. No child pee. Exactly. You're 1,000% correct on that. That is a one-on-one comparison. Makes total sense. Makes total sense.
Child slave labor. Like, we'll talk that off, like, really readily, you know? Like, oh, well, there's no other choice. Oh, well, we don't have to care about that. Oh, yeah, dude, like, cobalt that's mined up is done by child slave. But, you know, like, whatever, that's just how the economy goes. Oh, dude, whatever. Like, we make computers. They look sick, bro. Like, don't think about it. So that was the argument that I was making originally.
I don't know. Me personally, I would have tried to find another example.
Me too. Hey, no, hey, me too, buddy.
The reasons for this argument being rhetorically and optically bad are pretty obvious, I'd say, but I wanted to explain why it's also logically bad. The parallel between child sexual abuse material and commodities made with child labor is tenuous, mostly due to a huge gulf in personal moral culpability, right? I mean, hopefully that's obvious. It certainly wasn't to me back then. I still believe the presence of child labor in our supply chains is a massive issue, but, you know, I've stopped...
I mean, anybody who had... Oh my God. Do you not understand, Vaush? Obviously, people have a problem with children being hurt. Okay? Everyone has a problem with children being hurt. Hence the reason why everybody is on your ass right now for that photo you downloaded. Or not photo, that drawing that you downloaded. Because people don't like to see children in any kind of harmful situations. Obviously.
Making that point in such stupid, pointlessly abrasive ways. You know, there's a sickness in the mind of the very specific kind of debate bro that I used to be, where you believe that if using the most inane, hyperbolic shock value arguments, it makes you seem smarter. I'm sorry. I can explain what I was thinking at the time, but I can't for the life of me understand what I was thinking, if that makes any sense. Yeah, all edge and no point. Truly. Oh, and to be clear, I didn't make that argument just once. Remember, the whole rhetorical strategy was edgy, abrasive bullshit designed to bait arguments, and it worked. I mean, arguments were had.
Okay, let's be honest. You were trying to be Destiny. Let's just be honest about the situation. You could sum all this bullshit up with you were trying to be Destiny. That's exactly what it is. Toxic, thank you for being a member for 3 months. All of this to say, I don't know what that was. Seriously, that's what it boils down to. He was trying to be Destiny.
You're a live streamer, you know, you have a hot take or you make an abrasive argument, you know, chat brings it up in the future, you argue about it again. I'm sure there are a million clips of that argument from different streams, but it's all the same damn thing. You know, it's like taking 500 photos of me getting in a car accident and then saying it's 500 different car crashes. It's all the same stupid fucking argument. Unfortunately, 5 years back, it took me a little while to catch on to how fucking stupid and self-destructive my edgy argument was.
Mr.
Safe
Gamer.
within the bubble of my then tiny community, where the only eyes I had on me were the eyes of my, I don't know, 100 or so committed fans or whatever back then. I wasn't really seeing any negative consequences from employing this rhetorical strategy. I mean, it would bait arguments from chat, of course, like I got those disagreements, but that was what I was looking for. So I didn't interpret that as a sign of the argument itself being flawed. You know, it wasn't until I brought it up in a debate with Vegan Gains, a far larger YouTuber.
Cecil McFly, he got ousted from Destiny's group for harassing autistic. Yes, he did, Cecil. 1000%. Janelle for 2. Here's a monetary kitty palette cleanser for you. Thank you. I appreciate Janelle. And Cecil, you are 1000% correct.
That I realized how people outside of my community bubble.
Wasn't her name Poppy? I think her name was Poppy, wasn't it? The one that he got ousted for in Destiny's community? Yeah, Poppy. Yep. Yeah, I have the whole transcript of that, too. I could easily get it.
Perceive the argument.
Pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography, would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes.
Really? Even though they're directly supporting
Yeah, he told her all about the... Yep, sure did, Cecil.
child rape?
Yeah, I think it's hypocritical. If I because I bought my computer and the silicon in it was farmed in Africa by slaves. If I can do that and that's legal and no one's going to call me out on my shit, then yeah, I have to be consistent in that respect.
Okay, look, I think there's levels to this. So I wouldn't equate buying a computer to buying child pornography. I mean, it's in order to pretty much have a job anymore, you need a computer. So do you really think it's reasonable to equate something like buying something that might cause some amount of cruelty exploitation in the world that you need for your job just to be able to like not be homeless to something that you're buying purely for very shallow personal pleasure that causes horrible irreparable damage to somebody lifelong?
I mean, we can actually like partition it out. I don't know how much child pornography goes on the market these days. I haven't exactly checked, but I'd be willing to bet that the total amount of suffering that goes into the child slaves that mine out like the silicon in Africa, you know, in terms of me supporting that industry, I mean, that's pretty bad. And I didn't have to buy a computer this big. I could have bought something smaller. I could have bought a little Chromebook. You know, I don't wonder how many more hours slaves had to mine up that silicon to justify me being able to own this. But I'd go with it too close.
Bro, I'm sorry. You know what? He's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. I think he's been telling y'all how he really is this entire time, and you mofos got tricked. And when I say you mofos, I'm not talking about the people in my audience, because I have the best audience of YouTube. You know why I have the best audience? Because they're not dumb. Period. Just saying.
Clothing I wear put together by slave shop work or sweatshop workers, sorry, glasses, like everything. And if you wanted to step beyond the slavery element, like all of the stuff that I...
True. Cooney, thank you for being a member for 6 months. It's pretty bad when Vegan Gain sounds like the same person in a debate. That's very true. When you can make Vegan Gain sound sane, you have lost the plot.
buy, it goes towards corporations. I believe that wage slavery is unethical, the exploitation of workers, and everything you buy contributes to that, unless you're buying from a co-op.
Okay, well, look, there are, like, I think we could both agree that reducing suffering in the world is a good thing, correct? Even if you can't get rid of all of it at once?
It's always a good thing to reduce suffering, yes.
It's insane to me that I needed that kind of external confirmation to understand how bad it looked, how bad the argument was. But I have a very low opinion of the me in a lot of these older clips. It just makes me look fucking stupid, to be honest. As, you know, as it turns out, when you're talking to other people and making arguments about ethical labor or labor laws or whatever, engaging in this kind of argument doesn't make people want to, you know, they don't get like blustered and confront you in a debate about labor laws. It makes them want to call you a pedophile, obviously. So yeah, that's the explanation for the argument. Like I said before, it does reflect really poorly on me, but only in regard to my intelligence and character. Not.
He's literally starting to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher to me. I don't know how many of you old heads are out there, but remember Charlie Brown's teacher? Wah, 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 wah. You know? Who would you rather be in a room with, Onision or Vaush? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Honestly, Cecil, I feel like I would take care of myself before even entering that room. Not gonna lie. I feel like I would keep myself safe before entering that room. Just saying.
Not any sort of paraphilia. The clip is from very early on in my career. I think the original stream VOD was actually lost when my Twitch channel was first banned. But while looking for video context to add, I ended up finding this ancient effort from a fan of mine, presumably, to provide context to that clip. I don't know who made this. I hope they're doing well.
None of it is, yeah, I agree. None of it is ethical. But we've already made this social decision that people are not responsible for the systems by which the stuff they own is produced. We've already made that decision. You're right, you're kind of revealing your power level. No, this is exactly what I fucking mean. I'm right, but I'm revealing my fucking pedo power level because I'm right. No, this is a moral inconsistency in society. The answer should be that all of these things are bad.
Hopefully that makes what I was doing there a little more clear, even if the way I chose to do it was really, really stupid. So...
You know what else was bad? That photo that you downloaded, or excuse me, that drawing that you downloaded, that was bad. That was very bad.
There you go. That right there, that's the basis of like 90% of the pedophilia accusations that people make against me. Hopefully I explained it decently in spite
90%? Then why is this video an hour and 41 minutes and 53 seconds long? If you just went through 90% of your argument, why is this video so God bless it? Oh my God. Oh my God. Dear Lord, have mercy. I wanna throw something. But I can't. Because, you know, I don't have money to replace this stuff, so.
of the fucking Herculean effort I made 5 years ago to make it completely inexplicable. I'm so tired of explaining it. I sometimes see people say I'm always talking about child pornography, but what they're referring to when they say that is me defending myself from that clip, from people bringing it to me. Like it's like this nonstop. It's Sisyphusian, truly. Like I cannot tell you how much I hate the me in that.
Oh, Cecil said bestiality was legal in Vaush's state till pretty recently. Well, there we go. There. Oh, dear God. I hate it here. I hate it here. I can't wait to go back to talking about Gypsy Rose. And I had a really good video by Kayla that we're still going to watch about Ruby Frankie. And, you know, I just want to go back talking about that. I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, God. Oh.
That clip, the amount of trouble he's caused for me, you know, honestly, a car crash would have been less trouble. I tell you, monumentalist, give me a broken leg. I swear to God, it's so stupid. I don't want to explain it anymore. Please let this stand as my explanation.
See
Please,
you
God.
later,
It's
Luna.
embarrassing. I look so stupid. Even with the charitable explanation, I look stupid. Let's move on. So, thanks.
Kim Rudy for 20. So his argument is that his unbelievable intellect just happens to make everyone believe he's a P-word. Okay. Yeah, it kind of sounds like that, doesn't it?
To my indefensibly stupid, let's call it child labor argument. I had given people a very easy in with which to attack me. Now, again, to be clear, I really don't fault people for thinking the worst of me on account of those clips. I really didn't do myself any favors in that regard, and I've been dealing with the social consequences of them for the better part of 5 years now, you know, of my poor rhetoric. I just want to make it clear that I'm not...
Black Dynamite, thank you for the 2. Can't wait for the Keppel's downfall next. That's already happened. You know, y'all want to hear... Okay, y'all want to hear something that's actually kind of funny? So you know how you know how in videos they'll have like 3 hashtags at the very top of the description? If you do hashtag Vaush, hashtag tipster, hashtag Keppels, there is no point in putting a hashtag Keppels because honestly, no one talks about her. That downfall already happened. There's more videos made on Tipster and Vaush than there is Keppels because nobody pays attention to her anymore. That hashtag, that tag at the top of the description by putting Keppels doesn't do anything for you. Yeah, she's already fallen. That's the whole thing. She's already gone. She's already fallen. Yeah, she's more relevant than Tipster, actually. Yeah. She really is.
Not lumping everyone together in like a "you're bad faith if you criticize me" category. Of course, there are still people who act in bad faith. Not all the people who wanted to attack me were interested in being honest about it. I'd made it really easy for people to make, pedophilia accusations against me, but the problem was, once I stopped making the child labor argument, I stopped making the child labor argument, you know? I stopped. So folks went fishing for other stuff to throw at me, and a lot of it was really dishonest. One category of disingenuous pedophilia accusation that I find particularly maddening is when they're cut from a video in which I am clearly arguing that our society has a tendency to fetishize youth in girls and that it's bad. Essentially, I'll say our society broadly has a serious problem fetishizing young girls, and people will look at that statement and they'll say, oh, he's projecting. You know, he's not talking about society, he's talking about himself, which is insane. You know, insane. Does that logic apply to all? So
No, I think he's right. I think he is right. The society as a whole, it does have a problem with that, obviously. But, doesn't mean everybody's downloading Lolly onto their computer. Doesn't mean that somebody's trying to be a horse and have sex with a woman. Just saying.
social critique. If I said that America has a problem with racism, for example, hypothetically, if you could imagine such a world, does that mean I'm projecting my own racism just innately? Here's an example of this exact thing happening live quite recently.
The average American man would be most attracted to? Which hypothetical strip club would be the most crowded if they all opened tomorrow?
I think it would be somewhere from 14. No, I think it'd be somewhere from 14 to 17. I don't think we've changed.
This motherfucker, okay, wants to fuck 14-year-olds. Okay. That is a child.
What a crazy clip. That guy I'm talking to in that clip, Mr. Girl, is, well, if he's not a pedophile, he doesn't...
He's a degenerate piece of shit. I have 15 videos on Mr. Girl. He is a degenerate piece of shit. And I actually put out the theory out there that I think Mr. Girl, because of all the hype that he got about what he said about the girls on Cuties, and everybody, especially Twitch poll, y'all are famous for this, y'all take bad people and put them up on your panels and stuff. He got all that attention that he actually uses that to hide the fact that he hates women and he abuses women. But like I said before, with his 3.5-hour conversation with Nicholas Fiorio, and Nick asked him, are you doing a bit? And he says, everything that comes out of my mouth is how I feel, then I don't have a problem calling Mr. Girl the P word because of the shit that has come out of his mouth. He said it so himself. Everything that comes out of his mouth is what he means. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. Just saying.
Amazing impression of one. I'll say that much. And he spent that entire goddamn debate being a creepy piece of shit to me, asking me weird fucking questions. I think when he first got on call, he wanted to talk about how he thought he could have debated Hitler out of doing the Holocaust. You know, it started funny crazy like that, but over time it just got creepier and creepier, and eventually I just kicked him from the call in disgust. He's one of the reasons that I don't have a debating all comers policy anymore. You know, you got to filter some of these people. So, all right, where's the context, right? Well, here's a clip from that debate of Mr. Girl asking me that question the first time.
Here's a thought experiment. I'm gonna open a string of strip clubs in Las Vegas. It's gonna be called Mr. Girl's Whatever You Want Emporium. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in one strip club, the strippers are 25, 24, 23, 22, all the way down to infants.
How many times do we have to watch this? Okay, what's the next one? I'm not skipping, I'm just saying. The Cuties is really bad. My painful, cringy joke. Stopping child abuse argument. Bad utilitarianism argument. The Discord screenshots. The taxes folder. Final thoughts for my audience. Yeah, I'm sure you do have a section for your audience. They're the whole reason why you get any kind of defense in the first place. All right, let's go.
But each strip club, and this is a sovereign state, so there's no laws. In each club, everyone is the same age. Okay, so if you want to watch babies crawl around, or you want to watch 100-year-olds, we'll start at 100. So basically everybody, and everybody all the women on the planet have to work here. My question is, in America now, which club do you think would be the most popular if this were to open tomorrow?
In a sovereign state adjacent to America.
Yeah, and it's you know, there's no one, identities are, there's no issues of social ostracization. Nobody knows, everybody's wearing whatever disguises.
The closest argument you could make there, I think, is from European literature from ye olden days, and it seems like predation against girls spiked up around like 14 to 16. So if you could, if all the degenerate sex tourists.
Yeah, looking around you at America now. I want you to base this just on your sense. You know a lot of people. You talk to a lot of people about this. And we all.
You know, I haven't talked to a lot of people about this specifically.
We run in different circles, but based on your observations of American humans, which club is the most popular? Men, straight men are going, and they're women.
Culturally, I don't think that we've done anything to appropriately discourage that kind of predatory behavior towards girls. So my guess is that it would be somewhere between 14 to 17. I think that culturally we've done extremely little.
The girls don't know that is it even predatory to go look at them? They don't know that you're looking at them.
I would say that it's predatory.
It's a website where you can log in and look at locker rooms. Just forget the slavery aspect.
I would continue to believe that's predatory. For
for sure. But much harder type of predatory behavior to discourage if no one will ever know that camera was there.
If you put a camera in an underage girl's locker room and the police found it, I assure you that they would be able to very quickly, succinctly, and with great...
Oh, and this is also a perfect example. I don't understand how anybody can defend Mr. Girl. I don't get it. I don't get the defenses that Mr. Girl gets either. I really don't. I can't stand that man. Yes, Porky's was wrong. Yes.
Great confidence explain to you what you did wrong.
All right, then I have to go take care of something. No, I'm just kidding. My question is, which club is the most popular? My question is, where do you think we're at? And I'm asking it in kind of a exciting way because we're in public. But where do you think we're at? What is...
I genuinely don't think that much has been done to culturally disbar the average modern guy from the attitudes that we had back in antiquity towards women and attractiveness towards women.
And what number?
I think it would be somewhere from 14. No, I think it'd be somewhere from 14 to 17. I don't think we've changed.
That's a big difference.
I have no idea, and I couldn't even begin to think by which categories I would separate them.
But you're saying 14 to 17, and you won't pick a number?
I will absolutely not pick a number within the range.
Because you don't have a guess, or because you don't want to be clipped saying it?
Because I don't even know by what category you would distinguish into that group, and because I'm referring only to my feelings on other people's predilections, not to my own. So you're not asking me for my preference, you're asking me what I expect of the average American.
No,
a group of which I have a very low impression.
Okay, but you don't want to say the number.
I don't have a number. Do you have a number? Is there a number you're looking for?
I think it's 15.
Well, I suppose we'll leave it to the historians to judge.
Maybe 16. It might be. I think it would be 14 at first, and then it would move up once the novelty wore off. I think it would be 15 or 16.
Is this consideration in line with your desire to empathize with pedophiles, or is it something more personal than that?
Oh my God.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you sound like a pedophile, not a person who wants to promote empathy for socially misaligned people.
Why do I sound like a pedophile?
Because you're dedicating a considerable amount of thought to the subject of what...
And this makes me wonder, Destiny, why did you even platform this asshole? See, now I'm starting to squirrel because you got Mr. Girl on this video way too long for my comfortability. Destiny, why'd you even platform this asshole? I still don't get it. I still do not get it. Anywho.
What type of underage girl people would be most interested in?
What color, if you had to guess what color their underwear would be, Vaush, what would you say?
Yeah, okay. You see that? You people ask for debates, and what do we get? I am explicitly talking about widespread social failure to address, prevent, or discourage predation against young girls. Nothing about my language even remotely implies that I'm describing my own preference. I think you'd have to be really goddamn dishonest or stupid to take that as a mark against me. Or alternatively, maybe you don't think we have a broader social issue when it comes to the fetishization of young girls, and my belief that such a problem exists is...
Yeah, I know he will, Fairy. Destiny will literally talk to anyone.
Is just me projecting my own desires. You know, if you really think that, if you really don't think that broader social problem exists, then I think that's a mark against you, not me, personally, you know, with regards to being a suspect. Look, at this point, at least, ought to be taken seriously. We all have female friends who started getting catcalled when they were young. I mean, young. Teen is one of the most popular porn categories. Barely legal is a strip club advertising cliche. So common, a lot of people don't even think about how fucking weird it is, you know? Clearly, a problem exists. I don't think it's a problem that exists inherently. I think it's a product of our constructed social environment, capable of being made better or worse through the influence of, you know, different ideal.
You know, Tom, I'm thinking the same thing. Boss has a solid strategy here. He's counting on people dying of boredom before he gets to the point. Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. Yeah, Muldoon, if the horseshoe fits. Oh, dear God. Oh. Oh man, I wish I had a fancy URR like Nick right now. Holy crap.
Logical forces. One of the most shamelessly predatory, pedophilic ideas I've ever seen taken half seriously is the wall. You've heard of it. You know, not the Pink Floyd, the red pill idea that women become unattractive and lose all sexual value.
I mean, at least Colleen's was short to the point and it had a tune to it. Just saying.
After the age of 30. You know, I know the harm of this specific idea is mostly hypothetical because the median believer in the wall is like a 14-year-old boy who doesn't talk to women anyway. But it's still an example of how political ideologies can influence the extent to which predatory attitudes against women are socially normalized. To make a change for the better, you know, you'd probably have to look into some kind of, I don't know...
Clone Wars from 999 explains all the out-of-context clips except to be attracted to horses. I'm sure. I'm sure.
A feminism thing, you know, not to get political.
Thank you for the 999.
I
appreciate
this
it.
specific issue, the social normalization of being creepy about girls, that goes back a really long time. So again, pointing that out, I don't think that's suspect. I think that's a good argument.
Fuck me, dude. That is bad. That is really, really, really fucking bad. Holy shit. If the original movie actually comments on child sexualization, that would be like a movie about child sex trafficking, and the poster is like a pinup picture of a 14-year-old girl with a black eye or something. Holy fuck. I can't even begin to describe how tactless that is. What's the takeaway from this one? Like, I don't know. Don't do that, Netflix? I don't even know. This is like, this is unfathomable to me. Does anyone else get the feeling that, like, men, at least in the West, are kind of, like, taught to be kind of a little pedophile-y a little bit with how much we're fetishizing young girls? Does anyone else kind of get that feeling a little bit, just a smidge, possibly? Not like every guy's a pedophile, and I don't believe that, but, like, the way we hyper-fetishize youth for girls is, like, really weird. In every aspect of our depiction of sexual relations between men and women, we almost always associate youth with desirability when it comes to women. But not just youth, like, earlier than, like, 40, you know? Because people before, I'd say, like, people, like, 20 to 40 are all, like, in a pretty conventionally attractive range. Sometimes beyond that, depending on, you know, a variety of things. But, like, the girls are never, like, 35 or 40. They're always 18.
Knox Archive for 2. This is word salad, not rational thought. I know. This is bad.
Not to mention, like, a ton of porn is, like, just turned 18, barely legal, you know. Hold up your driver's license. We'll censor the fucking...
Sir, you look at horse stick. You look at horse stick. Sir. Sir. Bruh.
name, but there it is. Turned birthday 2 days ago. Yep, like there's fresh out of high school. Barely learned how to drive. Hey, thanks for picking me up. Yeah, it's my first day at driver's school. It's crazy how we
Lady Hendon for 5. The issue is he's explained things as if they're all separate. If you look at everything as a whole, is the issue here. Exactly. Exactly.
How much do we push this shit?
Same exact deal. Me saying there's a broader social problem and people saying I must actually be talking about myself. I can't believe people try to use this shit against me. Seriously, it's really frustrating. Oh, and as bad faith clip jobs go, this one is especially funny because it is literally cut from the video that I made attacking cuties. The movie. I've been on any drama YouTube years ago. You've heard people attacking cuties.
I want to be honest. I never heard the thing about him with cuties. I always heard that he was against cuties. So.
The video is entitled "Netflix Tries to Capture."
Because look, I'm not going to say he's never been clip chimp because everybody has. Everybody has. I got people clipping me saying that I said the N-word when I obviously did not because I don't even use that. Word's not even in my vocabulary to say. I don't care how angry I get or whatever. You know? People clip chimp all the time. All the time. So I'm not saying it never happened to them, but I'm sorry, when you have to constantly stick up for your creator because this and 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 come on now.
Capture the pedophile demographic with mixed results. The video does not contain an endorsement for the movie. It's pretty critical. So again, like it's like calling a guy anti-black because he ends a video on, I don't know, the history of the Confederacy by saying racism in America persists to this day. And then people are like, well, of course, that means you're racist. It's just stupid. I mean, you can tell I find it frustrating from the way I'm talking. I think there is a very clear difference between examples that, or I guess evidence that people use against me, where I am legitimately saying really stupid shit, and then ones where people are just like desperately cutting any kind of clip, like, you know, like Frankensteining clips together and hoping that, you know, something incriminating comes out in post. There's a lot of that, unfortunately. All right, next clip.
We've all jerked at the lolly at some point or another. We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like, oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
Some of these girls looked pretty young. This one definitely sounds rougher than the last two clips, but it's it's a bit, it's a joke, a bad joke.
See, that argument he just did there. All right, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
There's a lot of that, unfortunately. All right, next clip. We've all jerked it to Lolly at some point or another. We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history chat, and we go like...
Okay, so on those hentai sites, are they not tagged as lolly when they're lolly? And number two, you waited until after you got off before you noticed they were young? That makes no goddamn sense to me. Wouldn't you have noticed that they were young as you were going? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought they were tagged. Yeah. Bro, what? It makes no sense to me. I'm sorry, it makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Some of these girls looked pretty young. This one definitely sounds
like
rougher.
You didn't tell that they looked pretty young as you were whipping it out? I mean, you couldn't tell they were pretty young until you were done? Bro, what? What?
The last two clips, but it's it's a bit, it's a joke, a bad joke. I can explain it. I don't think that'll make it any funnier. The intended comedy element of an indiscriminate whirlwind masturbator being used to draw attention to a problem. That problem being the ubiquity of lolicon in hentai sites. I don't really know how anyone could get like a serious vibe from that. Like there's any kind of like grave point being made. Again, it's not a funny joke at all. I mean, I cringe looking at it. It's great evidence against me if the point that people are trying to make is that I was or indeed still am cringe. So a point to their favor on that one, I guess.
Another thing leftists have pushed is the idea that pedophilia is just enough.
Abby Normal, Xylie note, he claims to have accidentally consumed CP before. How many times does a normal person have to do that until they are bothered enough to make the damn sure it never happens again? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the joke. I don't get any of that. I really don't. I'm sorry. So that was a joke, but you accidentally looking at a picture that was drawn and downloading it, looking at the picture going, I might want to spank it to that, and downloading it, and then you realize it was young. You take your little quote-unquote joke that you said there, and you literally did it in real life. We actually caught you doing it from what you're saying. No.
Or indeed still am cringe. So a point to their favor on that one, I guess.
Another thing leftists have pushed is the idea that pedophilia is just another sexual orientation.
Citation needed.
Like being gay or straight.
Oh my gosh.
Stop discrimination.
Citation needed.
It's time to be more tolerant of demons who feed on kids.
I do take issue with the moral outrage here. Child sexual abuse is widely underreported. It's a huge problem. It's incredibly damaging to the psyche of young people, and as they grow older, it can lead to many negative mental health consequences. However, stigmatizing pedophilia to the extent that we are calling them demons probably discourages pedophiles, people who feel attraction towards children, from getting the help they could need to keep themselves from abusing.
Fun fact! I think anybody attracted to children, I don't think there is any help for them. I'm in that camp. All right? I'm not going to go any further with my explanation on that, but I'm in that camp. If you look at a child and you get turned on, there is no help for you, I believe, in my heart. And I will not press any I will not press any further on how I feel that should be treated. I'm just saying. That's all I gotta say on that one.
children. By demonizing them to this extent, you are increasing the likelihood of child sexual abuse. Do not demonize pedophiles. Demonize child sexual abuse and encourage pedophiles to get help.
I'm demonizing. I'm absolutely demonizing. I don't do that argument like Vito does and, you know, and Vaush is doing here. No. I demonize every single one of them. I do. Like, it absolutely disgusts me when a female teacher gets caught, quote unquote, having sex with an underage kid, boy, in her class. Well, it's funny it's just having sex when the adult is the woman and the child is a boy. No. That's not having sex. That's the R word. That's what that is. Because that child couldn't give consent. Call it for what it is. Because if it was a male teacher and a female student, it would automatically be the R word. Guess what? Guess how I think how those women should be treated. Just like every other pedo. Just saying. Just saying. It's just as disgusting because those children cannot give consent. Once you turn 18, boom. That's my cutoff right there, 18. An 18-year-old wants to go out and date a 40-year-old, I do not care. Because they are legal at that point. I wish them luck, and I hope it's a happy relationship. Once they turn 18, I do not care at that point. They are legal. Before that, we need to have a conversation. And no, I'm not talking like 17, 19 either, okay? I'm not one of those ridiculous assholes. All right? Yeah, me either, Ben. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like a 14-year-old and a 25-year-old, 14-year-old or a 20-year-old. I mean, that right there? Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Bro, what? Yeah, exactly. An adult with a child. Yeah. I just wanted to make that very fucking clear. All right. Because there's some people who overuse the P word like a mofo out there in the world. They overuse it and they need to stop because the P word needs to have a haunting meaning. It needs to have the worst meaning possible. We cannot overuse that word because it will start to lose meaning.
Now, if you've got pedophiles who have never sexually abused a child, but they're advocating for it, they're like, yeah, I've never done it, but is there anything really that wrong with lowering the age of consent to 13? Then of course, fuck them. Like, fucking shut them up. Just fucking smack them. But by and large, statistically speaking, there are 370 people watching right now. I'd be willing to bet that at least 20 or 30 of them experience habitual sexual attraction towards children. It's surprisingly common. To those of you who do to an extent that you feel as though it may be like a problem, please, just get some fucking help, my dude. There's nothing wrong with you as a person. We can't help the shit that we're into. We can help our actions. There's nothing feels weird, man, about this. You can't help the things that you're into. If you realize as you're like 20 years old that you have a thing for kids, what the fuck do you do? Commit fucking Sudoku? Do you just stop existing right then and there? Do you...
Well...
toss yourself in front of a car? No. You have to live your life anyway. And you have to recognize, if you're a responsible person, like, hey, even if I just keep this to myself, like, this might affect people someday, you know? I should probably maybe see what I can do about that. Talk to somebody. Okay?
Man, can I just say how much I hate how my voice sounds in these old clips? So I think that I sound kind of stilted, and I think it's phrased a little weird because I just wasn't experienced at streaming back then. But yeah, the message seems fine. As I understand it, encouraging kiddos to go to therapy is like mathematically the most effective way of reducing the likelihood of children being harmed, which is the point, I would hope. it doesn't have the punch or the charm of the classic kill yourself debate tactic. Those elements are lacking, admittedly, but my understanding is that that classic debate tactic also just tends to push them into like really insular, like-minded communities where they're more likely to enable each other's worst elements. So I don't even know what.
I don't know. I come a thing where people who, I don't like babying people. I really don't like babying people, and I think some people, how do I put this? Some people just shouldn't be around, and there are certain things that people do that they just shouldn't be around. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to spend tax dollars or anything like that. You know? To help people like that.
What in this clip implicates me, to be honest. But, all right, enough with the clips that are easy for me to defend. Let's address the clip that I see second most often. It's probably my least favorite one because it is so stupid and so unnecessary, and the bad optics of it aren't even from the argument that I was trying to make. Here, enjoy the terrible clip. Please.
Ben, that's actually the best way to put it, I think. Everyone's got their demons. Pedos don't get to be like, but my demons, I can't help it. It's like the worst one. Exactly. Exactly. Ben, I think you put it best with that one. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Please, right now, uncuck your dumb shit libcuck fucking SJW brains and recognize this empirically correct fact that I'm about to spit. It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible.
Man, look at how cool and logical I am, calling people libcucks for having the audacity to take issue with anything that I'm saying there. My IQ must be massive, the way I'm willing to, and this is the charitable take here, saw my own legs off at the knee, optically speaking. No points for guessing this clip's from 2019, same as the fucking child labor argument. So same era, same brain. Before I can explain what was going on here, we have to finish the point that I was making, because this is a really nasty clip.
It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible. However, categorically, we discourage those relationships because as a rule, it is substantially more likely that enabling them would cause harm in society. That's the difference between act and rule utilitarianism. An act utilitarian would say, oh, this is an instance where it was good for the adult and the minor to have sex. That would make it a good action. But the rule utilitarian, which is what I am, would say, even though that individual outcome was good, the act was still bad because in general, in a broader application, for adults and children to have sex with one another leads to horribly destructive outcomes. For that reason, it is an unethical act.
Look at that. Whoever cut this clip ended it right before I said, but really nasty work. And I clearly don't need the help making myself look terrible. So, all right. What's going on here? What point am I clearly failing to make?
Okay, before he gets into it, I'm going to be honest. The whole butt section did not help. For me personally, I'm not talking for anybody else, but for me personally, that whole butt section, before that section, the butt section did not help the first section to me. It didn't help it for me. I did not help.
And why did I say any of that terrible shit? What I'm trying to explain, poorly, mind you, is the difference between act and rule utilitarianism. They're two different ways of understanding what's right and what's wrong. At least that's what I thought back then. To understand what I was thinking at the time, I'm going to have to explain this in the context of my past self's, like sophomoric Dunning-Kruger-esque understanding of utilitarianism. We have to enter the very tiny shoes of my brain back then. We have to step into the shoes of my brain back then. And back then, as I understood it, act utilitarians decide if an action is moral by assessing the outcomes of that action, right? So you throw a brick at a person, it hits them, it hurts them, that's a bad outcome. Okay, so don't throw bricks at people. And rule utilitarians do this while also considering the value of broader judgments or rules that might consider an action moral or immoral by default, based on a general judgment of the expected outcomes. So we have rules against throwing bricks at people, not because the outcomes are always bad. I mean, you could miss, for example, and not really do much of anything, but we still have laws against that, because the expected outcome of throwing a brick at a person is bad, averaged out, and you want to prevent people from doing that thing generally, rather than just, letting people hope that...
Then why didn't you use a brick as the example? Why are you always using children as an example? Why? Why? Holy shit, bro. Ah! Oh, dear God.
That the individual outcome of a specific thrown brick might be good. Does that make sense? Well, again, none of this is a good understanding of utilitarianism, so I'm trying to explain how I thought about it.
Mike, what are you talking about? He is 20 or older making it. Mike, what are you talking about? Something about is about a tall who got a 15-year-old exposed herself on the new Omegle and recorded it and posted it in his paid Discord. Yeah, Mike, I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. I'm sorry. Squirrellock, thank you for being a member for 17 months. Gonna need a new mic soon. Yes. Yes, I am. Something about Chicken made a video called To Catch a Kick Predator. Okay. Alright, thank you.
About it. I know. You'll have to read up on the subject elsewhere. Don't get your normative
I'm gonna be honest with you. I normally don't like talking about this kind of subject. Private Ma'am for 5 for the mic fund. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate it.
Lessons from me, please God. So let me continue with the distinction. In the, I guess, to keep with the theme of bricks, you know, we would consider it morally wrong to toss cinder blocks off of a highway overpass. You know, I think most people would agree that's bad. It's possible, however incredibly unlikely, that doing so might actually end in having a positive outcome. Maybe the cinder block, it goes through the windshield and it smashes the face of a kidnapper, and the car crashes and the kidnappee is able to escape to safety, right? I mean, and that's a...
Okay, I get it. Chud went over it today. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. Because of this Vaush issue, okay, here's the thing when it comes to stuff like this with me. For the people who aren't regularly in my chat, all right? And I'm not getting on y'all whatsoever. I'm just an aggressive bitch, and I have an aggressive bitch attitude, all right? So don't take this personal, all right? But here's the thing with me. When it comes, anybody who's watched me for a long time, they know when it comes to anything to do with kids, I can very easily get burnt out, all right? And this subject, I'm about to my point of being burnt out. Like, I'm glad that Vaush came out with this video today because I'm very prepared to walk away from it at least for a couple of days. Especially when it comes to children and a CP type manner. I can get very burnt out because it truly does bother me. All right. Like with, even sometimes not even with CP type situations, like last year with the Colleen Ballinger stuff that was going on in Adam McIntyre, I got extremely burnt out where I skipped a whole section of that drama that was going on because I was getting completely overwhelmed and I needed to step back and not do it anymore. You know, so what I do is I can go up to my limit, but I've learned my limit. And once my limit is hit, I know when it's time to step back and go on to other things. And then that doesn't mean I can't go back to it eventually. It's just I can't do one after the other, after the other, after the other, because it will affect me. And I like what I'm doing. And here's the thing. If it starts to affect me, I don't stream. You will literally go, I may stream once a week at that point until I've recovered. You know what I mean? So I try to know my limit. Yeah, lady, I actually skipped the second one. I still haven't seen the second one. Yeah. That's when I got burnt out before the second one came out, so. Okay, Nick's going live in 15. That's great. We're live here, Sakura. What am I supposed to do? You want me to cut it off and go watch Nick?
Morally good outcome from the action, you know? So the question is, then, is an action morally wrong if its expected outcome is overwhelmingly likely to be bad, but it somehow, just through sheer chance, ends up not being bad, you know? Is it morally wrong to drunkenly drive through the front doors of a school if the only person you hit is, by sheer coincidence, about to do a school shooting?
He is the goat. No. Nick is the goat. That's my buddy. That's the homie.
I know. You have to understand, these are the high IQ moral conundrums that only the smartest debate bro YouTubers can even hope to grapple with. At any rate, in the full clip, I'm clearly siding with the rule.
Oh, why are we so funny together, Beef? Why? Because Nick picks on me? You like it when Nick picks on me? You should see us playing Blazing Eights. When him and Matt Pitt are in a Blazing Eights game with me, I am literally the abused one. They literally tag team and abuse me in that game. It's horrible. Honestly, y'all should show more pity towards me because of those two. Oh, Beef Supreme. You think it's funny because they pick on me? Oh, I see how you are. I see you. Oh, okay, Sakura. Okay. Well, Sakura, thank you.
Utilitarian argument here that all of these actions will be immoral regardless of outcome, because categorically the harm is... We're engaging with my understanding at the time. I feel so bad. I know more about the subject now than I did then, so I feel like I'm re-explaining bad logic. But look, two things set me up to fail here. Well, one thing did, the thing being me, but I set myself up to fail in two ways. My aforementioned tendency to engage in pointlessly edgy contrarian, ooh, the normies won't like this one, bullshit hypotheticals, and an extremely, extremely broad definition of can have good outcomes. Yeah, I've already addressed this debate bro brain poison before, so hopefully it's recognizable here, those tendencies, in the same way that it was with the child labor argument. I'm shooting myself in the foot in the exact same way with the same personality gun. The reason I hate this clip, myself in this clip, most of all, is because this argument I was having with chat wasn't even about child sexual abuse. It wasn't relevant. It was completely irrelevant to the point that I was making.
Then why did you bring it up? Why do you always go for the kids, man? Why do you always bring up the kids, man? Why?
It's just shock value nonsense. All I'm really doing is conveying an extremely intro to normative ethics understanding of consequentialism. If you were an intro to normative ethics class, you'd probably get yelled at by the professor for attempting anything even like this argument. But leaving that aside, and because it's completely irrelevant, I can't even explain my thought process very well. It just looks terrible, even though in the full clip I'm explicitly stating that child-adult sexual relationships are categorically wrong. It's a completely unforced error. I did this to myself. Also, with regards to can have good outcomes, this is like a fridge temp IQ element of arguing normative ethics. If you're willing to argue like a fucking idiot, as I clearly am, literally anything can have a good outcome in some specific scenario. Murdering an innocent person. Well, what if someone put a gun to your head and said they murdered 2 innocent people if you didn't murder 1? Now murdering that person actually has a good outcome because with 2 possible paths, one in which 1 person dies, one in which 2 people die, you made the path where only 1 person dies, so you basically save the life of a person. Woo, there you go. Nothing's inherently wrong, context. The asteroid hitting the planet would be bad. Well, what if it prevents it from hitting a bigger planet with more people? Child-adult sexual relations. Well, what if aliens threaten to blow...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Twitch poll is dying. You are literally watching in real time why Twitch poll is dying. Because people got sick of this shit. This is why you only have 3 big streamers with it now. Because it's dying. Because people are sick of hearing this shit.
blow up the whole planet, etc., etc. I know. It actually is that stupid. It wasn't even the point I was trying to make. It's just that, nothing is inherently wrong. It depends on the outcomes style of faux intellectualism was a pretty big feature of how I constructed arguments and made points back then. And, here's it combining.
Fairy, it's Destiny, Hassan, and Vaush. Come on now. It's Destiny, Hassan, and Vaush.
With that tendency to reach for the edgiest possible subjects and comparisons, and it really fucks me over. I know there are probably like hundreds of examples of me doing this, but with like murder or domestic abuse or any other just like edgy topic. Like, oh, you normies in my chat, you think that anything is inherently wrong? Well, let me construct a hypothetical for you that you won't be able to grapple with. You see,
E. Martinez, I know Destiny. It's still called Twitch poll. It's still called Twitch poll. Twitch poll, BreadTube, it's the same shit. Everybody knows that Destiny is banned on Twitch. I think Vaush is too still. I don't know. I don't remember if Vaush is still on there or not. But it's still the same shit. It is dying. Why do you think half the time Destiny covers drama? Because Twitch poll is dying.
Because I'm smart, I know that actually, what if this thing happened? I really don't blame people for thinking less of me for that clip. It's just really bad. If nothing else, my hope, this is the goal that I'm trying to convey. Don't judge me for any kind of paraphilic interpolation of this. Judge me for being a fucking idiot. That's what I want you to do. I'll expand it. Judge my audience back then for watching me. I shouldn't have gotten any viewers back then. I was so stupid. Unfortunately for me, my presence online dates back way farther than the creation of my channel, which means people interested in finding examples of me saying stupid shit have a pretty wide range of material to choose from. Before I had a channel, or was even known as Vaush, I was a frequent and notorious shitposter in the community of a streamer called Destiny. I know, that's why I am the way I am. I had been in his community for a long time.
Wait, what? Did he just do a sneak diss? Wait, what did he do?
For me, my presence online dates back way farther than the creation of my channel, which means people interested in finding examples of me saying stupid shit have a pretty wide range of material to choose from. Before I had a channel, or was even known as Vaush, I was a frequent and notorious shitposter in the community of a streamer called Destiny. I know, that's why I am the way I am. I had been in his community for a long time, really long, and I really enjoyed the edgy, irreverent, debate lord culture of his Discord server. So let's look at some of the stupid, edgy, irreverent shit I said 6 years ago there that people have
We're blaming Destiny for this one, boys.
been screenshotted out of context in the pursuit of calling me a pedophile. So this is a perfect example of context being maliciously stripped from a screenshot in order to make me look bad, even though I'm right and it's not even controversial. You know, I'm uncontroversially right, I hope. The conversation was about media and LGBT representation. Here's the gist of it. So coming-of-age stories are really common. You know, like a young person, they go on an adventure, they meet people they like, maybe they fall in love, they slay a dragon, whatever. Really, really, really common type of story. One of the main types of stories, even. And one of the biggest culture war talking points back in 2017, and I guess still now today, is that that kind of story is weird and pedophilic, and I guess the modern term would be groomery. I don't know. If the protagonist isn't straight, right? So their argument was, you know, you can have a story where a young man goes on a journey and falls in love with a girl and everything's fine, but if a young man goes on a journey and falls in love with a guy, then it's...
Wait, did Destiny put the Poppy vibe back up? Yeah, because Destiny hit it because he didn't want to stunt Vaush's growth. Did he put it back up? Someone else found it? Oh, it's probably a re-upload somewhere then. Oh, well, I have the actual, like, logs. I have the actual logs. Like, I could do a Poppy stream right now if I wanted to. Oh, okay. I need someone to tell me how to say his name. Is it just Stilk? Just Talk? Like, how do you say his name? But he re-uploaded it. Okay. Justicle? That's how you say it? Justicle? Like testicle, but justicle? Justicle? Okay, I'm going with Justicle. Justicle. Either way, fuck it. It's okay. That's how, all right. Fine. I'm sorry. That damn ugh.
It's weird and it's gross and it's different and that's sexualizing them because young people can be straight but they can't be gay, you know, because that's weird. That means they've been abused or whatever. That's the argument that I was pressing against, you know, and hopefully everyone watching understands it's a ridiculous and homophobic and, you know, irrational argument. It's a stupid double standard, but that's what I was pushing back against. You know, the exploring sexuality there in that context means it being incorporated as a plot element, like in every story, right? The Last Airbender, Aang likes Katara. Spoilers.
What?
That's sexuality. That's heterosexuality, I believe, is the term for it. You know, in Teen Titans, Robin, Starfire, not Raven, right? Starfire, whatever. Like normal, uncontroversial. You know, homophobes will say like, oh, well, actually, it's bad if it's, you know, if young people can be gay, even though everyone knows they can be. Like, it's. I have a feeling the person who clipped this to like use it against me wouldn't even disagree with the argument I'm making, because a lot of these like really bad faith clip jobs come from people who are ostensibly left-leaning, which makes me wonder like if they don't understand they're doing the same thing that like the conservatives they would otherwise disagree with would do. I don't know. It's real.
Oh, stop putting politics into it. This is a common sense issue. It's not a political issue. Stop.
Really, really frustrating. Nobody disagrees with me on the argument that I'm making here. I hope if I had only known then what my future would hold, then maybe I would have optically workshopped it a little more. On to the next one. Okay, so this one actually is bad, and I've apologized for it a few times. Basically, here I'm doing that thing that guys do where, you know, a hot female teacher will be arrested for raping a student, and the guys in the Facebook comment section will be like, you know, where was she when I was that age? Could have used me some of that. And basically, like, the thing they do where they downplay and trivialize the sexual abuses of the teacher.
Oh, yeah, what I talked about earlier. Yeah, the news does it all the time. So he's not wrong on that part. We're men. We'll literally go under there going, man, I wish I had that teacher. Yeah. Because they look at it differently for boys than they do girls. Absolutely.
Sure, because they personally think it would have been cool if they could have slept with their hot teachers back when they were 14. And yeah, when I was 14, I also wanted to fuck my hot teachers, obviously. But, you know, 14-year-olds are idiots. Their interests, desires, and preferences shouldn't really be accounted as a solid moral argument to anything. So this screenshot isn't really missing any context. It actually is shitty, but I've since come around on this, and I've recognized how bad it is to downplay or idealize that kind of thing. So, you know, I've been consistent about that for years now on my channel. Not much else I can do. All right, next one. All right, so this one looks bad. I think this is probably like one of the other things that gets used against me the most often. It is...
The way I see it, the age of consent exists out of respect for numerous power imbalances older people have over younger people. As those imbalances, or at least some of them, are redressed through the advent of socialism, the age of consent should be therefore lowered. Oh.
Mostly just stupid in the same way that the previous, like, terminally online debate-brained tendencies we've seen have been stupid. You know, my argument was that under socialism, an economic system that I don't believe exists or has ever existed, you could defensibly adopt an age of consent set to the same level as it is currently set to in England or France. Another pointless intellectual exercise conducted, I assume, because I and a lot of other people in the Discord server believed arguing controversial topics through inane hypotheticals made us cool and smart. Wow, good thing that didn't carry forward into my streaming career. I think my logic was... No, I know what my logic was. It was that the idea that economic disparities are a primary element of the power imbalance between adults and minors, and that removing that imbalance through total economic equality would rectify a part of the power imbalance. It's a stupid argument. I definitely don't agree with it anymore.
Predators are still going to be predators. It doesn't matter what... Okay, wait a minute. Predators are predators no matter what financial bracket they're in. Someone please explain that one to me. It doesn't matter. Predators are predators no matter what. No matter if they're worth $5 billion or $50. Like, what? I've literally heard people say it only happens in lower... That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. Ugh.
More. I probably didn't agree with it, like, very shortly after I made it because I was arguing about it. You know, like, it's pretty easy to poke holes in that one, I gotta say. Economic disparities are present in couples of literally every age, right? The power imbalance between adults and minors is more developmental and social. So the argument was stupid and meaningless, yes, but you have to understand that to the mind of the terminally online debate bro, the hotter and less necessary the take, the cooler you are for making it.
You know what? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you're online too much. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you don't have enough interactions with real people. Is that part of the problem? Because I'm starting to think half these people on YouTube and 90% of the people on Twitter, they are just on it way too much. And things start to get normalized in their fucking heads. Because all this shit that he's talking, if I get one more person telling me that Diorio's going live soon, if you don't want to be here, then leave. Okay? I'm not stopping my live stream just because he's going live. I do not care. I will be there when this is done. Are we done? Yeah, it is pretty rude, honestly. It really is rude. Anyway, No, it's like 90% of like Twitter. The problem is they don't have human interaction anymore. And they get, oh God, stupid shit is getting normalized in these people's brains where in real life, if you were talking this shit, it wouldn't happen. People would literally get punched in the face for stuff like this. Literally would get punched in the face in real life over stuff like this. You don't go and talk like this with normal people. You only get away with it on the internet. Because there's no repercussions. There's no real repercussions for this. And that's half the problem.
Great stuff. You know, I've done myself nothing but good service in the pursuit of all these excellent arguments that needed to be had. I think that's it for the Discord screenshots that I can meaningfully add context to. You know, like ones that I think are substantive enough to warrant any kind of explanation. The others are fake, like faked, like photoshopped or whatever, or so insubstantial that addressing them feels pointless.
Oh, God.
You know, I want to give you an example of what that so often looks like, though. So here's one so stripped of context that I don't even remember what the conversation was about. Yeah, I see so many attacks against me substantiated by evidence like this stuff so insubstantial you would have to already dislike me to buy into it, leaving aside the fact that like if you're screenshotting a message so selectively that you remove like not only literally all the surrounding information, but the image exclusively contains a single sentence. I mean, Jesus, like if that's the standard for making a person look bad, you can make anyone look bad. Like it's incredibly easy to make people look bad if that's the standard. But the one
Vaush, you have made yourself look bad. No one is making you look bad, bro. You have made yourself look bad. You have done it to yourself. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. The 3 people who were quote unquote defending you, they made you look bad too, bro.
one sentence that remains is literally a stock joke. It's wry sarcasm, you know, like, oh wow, what did Benito Mussolini ever do to you? Wow, what did arsonists ever do to you? Wow, someone got murdered in your town and you think that's bad? Hold on there, buddy. What did murderers ever do to you? Like the joke only works if the person making it assumes everyone present already knows the group being referred to as bad. Nobody actually says that when they're defending a group like sincerely, you know, like nobody. It's a stock joke. I don't want to be annoying by overstating this, but attacks against me are given a lot of perceived legitimacy by the sheer volume of evidence. But if you actually look into that volume, a lot of it is just nothing. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to see some gigantic...
A lot of what you've said is fucking nothing. A lot of what you've said for an hour, 4 minutes, and 25 seconds has been fucking nothing. This whole goddamn video has been nothing.
Pick ultimate compilation of evidence against Vaush with 100 links. And then you look into them, and fully, like 90% of those links are just nothing. Sheer filler, completely meaningless. But to everyone else, it might as well be 100 bulletproof accusations because they're never actually going to look at them. I'm not just saying that. I've been online for a while. I know how internet drama works. You hear about a person being bad. You hear about them being bad so many times. You know, people say, oh, look, here's the evidence if it's a big... Like, you think everyone reads those big twitlongers? All those big documents, those 18-page Google Docs that people drop with all the evidence of this and that? Most people don't read all of that. For the most part, you know, if there's a lot of evidence towards a person being bad or a lot of perceived evidence, I don't think that's nothing. But I don't want to, you know, I can't, like, we can't pretend that it's not impossible to pack a bunch of sawdust in with the grain, you know? And I think that oftentimes I am either responding to people who have a couple of very pointed criticisms, almost always the child labor argument thing, which I've talked about, of course, but the more frustrating one is, like, sometimes, you know, you see people saying stuff about me and then you turn and look behind them to see what, like, evidence they've mounted, and a lot of it is, like, nothing. And I feel like if you could tell them, like, hey, look, turn around, like, look at what you're using. Do you not think it would be good for you to stand by any of these criticisms, or...
None of this explains why you had Lolly on your computer! And I bet you, you deleted a bunch of other shit in your computer too. I bet you cleared out one of those folders. I bet you did, bro. I bet you did. You looked at an image... You figured you would wank to it, and you downloaded it. What does any of this shit got to fucking do with that? Where there's smoke, there's fucking fire, and people finally saw the fucking flame. That's this whole entire fucking situation.
Yeah, my frustration here is clear. I don't want to oversell it. I have said legitimately stupid stuff. You know, I'm not I'm not trying to deny that or downplay that. I'm only saying that it makes it more difficult for me to address or give context to those things, give people the opportunity to decide for themselves with the real information how they feel about me, when it's all being kind of, buckshotted at me in a big cloud of nonsense. I don't want to harp endlessly about that nonsense because I feel like it does take away from the substantial stuff. But like, look at this. Look at this. This is like here's a screenshot. Here's the kind of shit I see. Like what does this mean? Why do I see this included as what did I mean here? I don't know. How is this supposed to implicate me? Why is this being presented as evidence that I'm a pedophile? Like, Jesus, look at this one. I wrap up my afternoon classes. I get back home to my computer. I open Discord to find the brain geniuses of Destiny's community having a spirited and extremely necessary debate on the subject of sex bots that look like children. So I sigh deeply, bring my fingertips to the keyboard, and type, "This is why I come here. My professors never want to talk about pedophile sex bots." I mean, the only thing I'm doing here is mocking the topic being discussed, which was, I feel, appropriate. This was all the way back in 2017, so if nothing else, you can see the vat my brain was stewing in before I went on to make my channel and immediately kneecap it with a meaningless, counterproductive, pointlessly edgy devil's advocate. There's constructed social environments for you. Again, I'm not saying that there's no legitimacy whatsoever to people being critical of me. It's just, a lot of stuff gets thrown my way. So,
Boss, stop being the fucking victim, dude. You did this to yourself. You did that. All this. You did it to yourself.
After all that, now we finally arrive at this most recent drama, the incident that lit a fire on the drama YouTube,
my
and
face.
is, in my mind, the only thing I've done in the past 4 years that actually looks bad. It's pretty fucking embarrassing, to say the least. So there I was, streaming a few weeks ago, browsing a men's fashion site.
Finally! An hour and 8 minutes in.
I wanted to look at an image more closely, so I right-clicked to open the image in a new window, but then accidentally instead clicked the Save As tab in the right-click drop-down menu. Now, because I am, as has been extensively demonstrated in this video, a fucking idiot, my preferred strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to keep a single big folder called To Be Sorted, where every image, document, music file, whatever I happen to download gets sent. This is an insane thing to have as a live streamer, but, there you go. It's me. So I hit Save As, and a half second later...
She didn't mean to scratch me. I was picking her up, and she just kind of sideswiped me. It wasn't her fault. That's why I'm not mad about it.
A preview window of the folder and its contents popped up on stream. And now, of course, that folder had porn in it, so I immediately ended the stream and deleted the VOD. Even if it weren't just embarrassing to make a mistake like that as one of the largest political live streamers on the platform, it's TOS. You got to delete the VOD. So I stream with no delay, and folks are always screen capturing the feed, so I knew the contents of my To Be Sorted folder and the preview window were irrevocably public knowledge. But to be honest, that didn't really bother me too much. It was embarrassing, sure, but mostly because it made me look like a careless idiot, not because I was ashamed of the, furry, demon, monster, GF, big dick porn stuff I knew I had in there. I rambled about liking all that stuff on stream before, not a secret, and I thought, maybe, in a way, this fuck-up would come across kind of charming. That's my streamer, that fucking idiot right there. My community was already making a big joke of it by the time I went live again. Of course, I knew as soon as the folder opened on stream that it would be pretty easy for people to lie about what it contained, to stir up drama or cause me trouble or for any other reason. So when later on in that stream, 1 or 2 people came into chat and they said, hey, there was Lolly in there, I figured they were just causing trouble and I banned them. Of course, we know where this is going. By the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that 2 of the images in my folder preview window were actually from a well-known lolicon artist, and therefore definitely intended to be lollish.
Bro, you piece of shit! You cannot tell me you did not see that goddamn image and see that it was a fucking child before you goddamn downloaded it. Fuck you! Fuck you, bro! Fuck you and your whole goddamn argument. Fuck you! If Ethan Klein, when it comes to anime and shit, is probably a normie, can look at that goddamn picture and see that it was a fucking child, then you, of all people, would be able to look at it and know when you downloaded it, it was a fucking child. Fuck you!
Shit, which has to be the worst possible way to find out about that sort of thing. Now, obviously, the accusation here isn't just that I had those images saved, that part's true, not really an accusation, but also that I must have known that they were lolicon and saved them because they were lolicon. Now, the obvious and predictable, but nonetheless true response from me is that no, I didn't know that, and that must not have been the impression I got from those 2 drawings, because if I had gotten that impression, then I wouldn't have saved them, I mean, drawings are abstractions, and art styles and body...
So you did... You mean tell me you didn't realize it was until you were told it was and you got caught? a great connoisseur of hentai and anime and, you know, that whole genre, whether good or bad, you're a connoisseur of it. You mean to tell me that you didn't know that it was bad before you looked at it and decided to download it? How fucking stupid do you think people are? How stupid do you think people are? I don't get it.
Body proportions vary massively, even for characters that are unambiguously adults. That doesn't mean lolly shit isn't a thing or a problem. I've bitched about it being a problem like a lot on stream. It just means that carelessly or inattentively failing
Nox Archive for 2. I really wish I could say what I think of this. Yep.
to notice it isn't exactly impossible. I know what some people are going to say, you know, no, you must have known. There's no way you didn't know. And like what am I going to do? Make a fucking evidentiary argument here? You know, like, I'm not putting up the images so we can argue about the pixels or the proportions or whatever. I know fully well that like 99.9% of people who have heard about this drama haven't seen the images, nor do I think those people should go looking for them, obviously. So it's pretty much entirely a take me at my word or don't kind of situation where people are free to lie about the drawings, or as I've already seen on Twitter, just post other really bad-looking shit and say that's what I had in my folder. There's not much I can do about it, right? It's all totally unfalsifiable, and people are going to make whatever assumptions and inferences they want to make. All I can really say is that I didn't notice.
Who lied? Who lied about it? Who lied about it? Who lied about it? Because I'm going to be kind of honest with you. Everybody I've seen so far describe what that picture was, they're all describing the same thing. So who lied about it? Who are the liars? Name and shame them. Name and shame them if they lied about you. If they have completely lied about what that picture was, name and shame them. We need to know who they are so we know we can't trust them. Who?
The problem while saving the drawings, the same way a person could fail to notice any element of any drawing if they were careless or inattentive or distracted. Hell, chat also pretty much immediately clocked 2 other drawings in the folder preview window as being AI art, something else I didn't notice, and they gave me plenty of shit for that too, because I'm not a big fan of AI art. You know, I think I've done a good job of demonstrating a tendency towards carelessness, if nothing else. So leaving that stupid, least charitable argument aside, someone might then ask, okay, I get it, it's possible to make a mistake like that. Why then would you save the images? And what about them did you like? And look, there's really no way of saying this without sounding crass or flippant or whatever, but you know, it's already pretty revealing video. There's actually a very clear and simple explanation for why, you know, for not just those 2 drawings, but in fact all the drawings in that folder and all my porn tastes generally. And it's an explanation that is extremely well.
Actually, Nuclear, I think he is this autistic. I really do. I really do. I'm totally being ableist towards him right now. Yeah. I'm being ableist.
Known and well substantiated. I'm a size queen. I like big dicks. Yeah, I was looking through drawn porn like furry or hentai or whatever else. I saw big well-drawn dicks. I thought, cool, and saved the drawings, then never looked at them again, as evidenced by the fact they are in a big dump folder literally called to be sorted. That's, you know, that's the extent of the consideration that I gave those 2 drawings before my community and then the entire fucking internet hopefully corrected my mistake. It's hard to even say anything about it. You know, 5 seconds of, ooh, nice dick, cool line art, saved, and it's a whole discourse. You know, I wish I had an answer that was more satisfying, but really for something like this, I feel like people are going to believe what they believe. You know, I do think there is a real argument to be made about carelessness, especially with regard to lolicon and its seeming omnipresence in the anime community. You don't have to know much about anime to know that's an issue with it. I find it repellent, and I've been bitching about it for years. Plenty of that bitching has been on stream too. But it's possible to find something repellent while also not being perfectly vigilant about it. You know, especially in art where stylization and abstraction can kind of, I guess, cloud awareness and judgment of the extent to which any artists you follow or people in the community might be doing sussy shit, right? Pardon me for taking my most indefensible position yet on.
You're over-explaining, dude. Once again, you're over-explaining. You're making yourself look guilty.
This, you know, in this video, in the history of my channel, I actually do like some anime, you know, and there's a lot of really good shit out there in the anime community broadly, and then a lot of the sick anime babes getting railed on Twitter. You know, I'm sorry, like, often that is also cool. And I hate the fact that, you know, the pervasiveness of lolicon means that the entire community is tainted, basically, right? I don't like the fact that, like, you could be looking through what looks like a bunch of totally, like, normal, fine, cool babes getting railed by big dicks, whatever you're into, you know, while also feeling like you have to be vigilant that in this incredibly normalized process, some of these drawings might be of characters that are canonically underage, or that, like, an artist who generally draws in a kind of, like, cartoony style might be fine, but then another artist does that, but then they're, like, actually drawing like they're meant to be teenagers or whatever. I don't like it, and it's a normalization issue, and I think one of the best ways you could deal with it
Oh my God.
By being aware. I'm not perfectly aware, so I fucked up. This wasn't the first time that I fucked up in this specific regard. You know, after the whole child labor argument saga, people went through a bunch of likes in an old public Twitter, or, you know, porn account that I had, and over.
Do you count on your audience being this dumb? Do you truly count on your audience being this dumb? Is that what's happening? Is he honestly counting on this audience, on his audience being this dumb? Holy shit.
Like thousands of liked, you know, furry, big dick monster girl images or whatever. I think they found one that was like the character was meant to be a teenager. You know, like, and it's not surprising to me that that might happen because, you know, I'm running between classes, scrolling on my phone. I look at an image maybe 2 or 3 seconds before I like. The degree of scrutiny required there indicates that this goes beyond some kind of like matter of personal temperance and extends broadly into like, how weird is it that that's something that's been that normalized, you know? Anyway, I don't mean to like make a big point or make it like a broader issue, you know, as a way of pulling attention away from me fucking up. I just think it's a broader issue, you know? You know, people are going to say what they're going to say. They can judge me for what they're going to judge me for. I think a lot of people have been real.
No. You don't get to point the finger to anyone else. We're not talking about the broader issue. We're talking about you, sir. Oh my God. It's not me. It's society. That's exactly what he's doing, Diana. It's not me. It's society. Yeah. What? What?
Uncharitable. You know, I think it's insane to say this like, yeah, he's a pedophile. You got him. I think that's insane. But again, it's not really an evidentiary argument that I can make. So, you know, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I don't know. God willing, anime culture will get better one day. I wouldn't hold my breath though. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. I'm sure there are other clips or screenshots or arguments out there that people have thrown into their big anti-me documents. But like I said, I wanted to focus on the accusations that I feel are at least somewhat grounded. If I took the time to tackle all the obviously fake or disingenuous shit, we'd be here forever, and I think it would take away from the stuff I actually did feel I needed to address. You know, again, walking that line. There is a lot of bullshit, but I don't want to convey the impression that I feel every attack against me is illegitimate, or at least not properly motivated. So yeah, this isn't about debunking a narrative, you know, it's about waving away the most transparently bullshit stuff so that I can focus on explaining the actual mistakes that I've made, the actual stupid shit that I've said, providing context and laying out my thought process so folks on the fence have all the information before deciding to lean charitably or not. Yeah, I can't make someone be charitable. It's just up to how they see things. And, you know, I can't ever view all this drama from an outside perspective. I'll always be biased because I am literally the only person who really knows how I feel and why I've said the things I said. And but to cap it all off, to cap all this off, I'd still like to try my hand at it.
Bro, this is mind-numbing. We're almost done, though, guys. We're almost done. We are almost done. Holy shit, we're almost done.
I'd like to try and present the charitable narrative. How I feel this all looks with all the information and how I hope people take it. You know, again, not holding my breath on that one, but this is what I hope for.
Final thoughts.
I have said some really, really stupid, difficult to defend stuff. Now, that much is clear. But almost all of it comes from the very, very beginning of my time as a live streamer. Looking at it all laid out like this, 5 or so years of drama and accusations, I think it should be clear to people who have watched this far that the explanatory variable
CJ, yes, you have, and I'm here with you. I am actually streaming the perfect hell experience for you right now. Lady Hennon for 10. I like anime too. 95% are teenagers, possibly younger. You can say you're a fan of anime and not be able to spot Lolly. He's either lying about... Wait. You can't say you're a fan of anime and not be able to spot Lolly. He's either lying about being a fan of anime or not knowing what Lolly looks like. Thank you for the 10, lady. I appreciate it.
All those old clips was my stupid fucking debate bro brain. The obsession with inane hypotheticals and devil's advocates and shock value bullshit, which I employed because I thought using examples and comparisons that normies couldn't handle proved I was smart. It really is impossible to overstate how much I dislike the me in those clips, how I used to act in general. That being said, the terrible arguments and hypotheticals really were contained to those shock value debate bro moments. And as I stopped being that kind of debate bro, the terrible arguments and hypotheticals stopped. And that's why just about every clip used against me is at least 4 years old. They're more or less contained to a period of time during which I employed a rhetorical style that I would describe as fucking stupid and insufferable. You know, even if the point I was making was fundamentally okay, I was also just way worse at communicating, which didn't help me. And that's another thing I'd like to stress. You know, if anything has been thoroughly, objectively, uncontroversially demonstrated in all of this, it's that I'm a loudmouth. I can't shut the fuck up. I have no filter, etc. Worse than it is now, but nonetheless, it's a character trait. But in all the hundreds of times that sex or sexuality or kink or whatever else has come up on stream, sometimes while I'm near blackout drunk from celebrating some event or another, you know, no filter, I've always been really, really blunt and consistent about what I'm actually into in people, whether it be people my height or people with big round glasses or people with really dark, tired looking eye circles or pronounced collarbones or aquiline noses or whatever else. You know, I know this is a low bar, but it's really weird to me because people accuse me of being a secret pedophile who accidentally let his mask slip by virtue of several months of extremely loud, abrasive, attention-grabbing, optically dogshit arguments, and yet also, back then and now, has been really consistent in wanting a girlfriend who looks like Reagan Ridley from Inside Job. You know, like, that's a very novel way of letting the mask slip, right? Like, you know, no filter whatsoever.
Bro, what in the hell is going on? I don't know, Abby. I don't know. What the fuck is he on about? Bro.
However, clearly a poor sense of how other people will, you know, interpret his words at times. Not always the best communicator, and yet it's every time this happens, it's always contained to hyperbolic debate bro bullshit. It's always shock value, rhetorical bullshit. Which again, like, I know, low bar, right? But that, to me at least, that's the pattern. That's the clear pattern, and I don't do that anymore. I'm a lot better at making arguments than I used to be. I'm a lot less. I don't know. I'm not trying to deflect. I'm a lot less autistic than I used to be. I don't know. At least marginally. These edgelord debate bro tendencies led me to think that the best way to construct my arguments and convince people that I was edgy and smart and blah 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 was through the invocation of the kind of stuff that I have been dealing with the consequences of for 5 years. I, more than anyone, know the problems with those arguments. I just think that they indict me in...
Sir, you're a degenerate. There's nothing else to really say. You're a degenerate.
Different ways than people think they indict me. I think if nothing else, I mean, I think they just make me look like a fucking idiot. You know? I have one that I'm trying to be less of. You know, ideally. I would like that. I certainly don't think I act now the way I did then. I don't think 5 years from now I will look at me now and think as poorly of me as I do looking at me 5 years ago. There has been some improvement. That's the charitable explanation. That's the best I can offer. I think I set the stage with that child labor argument. You know, me being who I am, I mean, I was always going to get on, you know, people's nerves, and to an extent, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. A degree of abrasiveness, I think, is a necessary and endearing trait in some people. Cope, I know. But I think that a lot of the stuff that's happened in my...
Anonymous. True. I'm starting to feel that same way. I am starting to feel that same way. Bring them back. 100%. Shit.
Career over the past 4 years has been tainted by the way I made those initial arguments, and a lot of the stuff people throw at me, they wouldn't have thought to throw at me if it wasn't for that initial poisoning of the well. You know, I think a lot of this is inertial. You know, it builds up, and I don't know how to stop that inertia, right? I mean, people say, you talk about this often all the time, you CP on your stream, but well, here I am talking about it again. Will this be the last time, or will a month from now I'll be talking to someone and they'll be like, aren't you that pedophile? And what am I going to do? Stop the conversation and link them the video? You know, inertia is a difficult thing to stop. I think that's actually like the meaning of inertia, like definitionally. So I could opine at length about how a lot of the hate I get is inconsistent. And it's all a big popularity contest. And I'm an easy target, and people get upset with me for shit they'd write off if other people did it, and blah, blah. But pointing out all of those extremely true and correct facts, it doesn't solve the problem. I don't want to be disliked. I don't even really want to be controversial. I think the stuff that I advocate for is universally good. I want everyone to live a better life. You know, people disagree about how to do that, but as long as you're on the path, as long as you think people being happy is a good thing to fight for, then I think there's at least some agreement to be had. I don't want to be controversial for that reason, or for a lot of the reasons I seem to be. You know, I get into fights with people who agree with me on like 99% of shit. I think my channel's a cool and positive place, and it and my community are both a big source of pride for me. So I'd like it if everyone...
I guess so. You've conditioned your community to stick up for you with every blow of the wind. I guess you do love your community. Hello?
Or half of everyone? Some proportion of everyone could see it that way. There's not much I can do about the optics black hole, though, at least not right away. I don't expect this video will get much positive attention on release. I think it's going to be kind of broadly ridiculed, largely, I think, from folks trashing it who haven't actually watched it. This is something that I expect. This is something we all know will happen. Whether or not you agree with me on any of this, you know that'll happen.
Oh, no. We watched the whole thing. We watched the whole thing. I watched every word that came out your mouth, buddy.
Happen. It's unfortunate, but I can't make that not happen. I can't, like, rewrite reality. So if I can't do that, then I just have to accept it. And I'm sure there will be...
Okay, it must be in this last section, but somebody said that there's, like, a sneak diss to Tipster and Keffels in here. I don't know why, but because I haven't watched this, so...
Like drama YouTubers who comb over it and pause every 2 seconds to talk about the, like, pedophilic contour of my frontal lobe or whatever. You know, they'll just make a big laugh riot out of it.
No, we don't do debate bro shit, but yeah, we do because you can't say we didn't transform this, motherfucker. And yes, I'm a proud drama tuber. And?
Still, in spite of all of that, as best as I can, it's honest and straightforward, and I don't think there's much I can do besides present it that way and let people make their own judgments. So yeah, that's it. I'm done making all of the arguments about my past and how people perceive me and blah, blah, blah. I want to take a second here at the end to directly address just my audience, what I'm hoping for in the future and what I'm asking for from them. You can still watch if you want. But,
okay,
if you
it's
don't
in the
care,
end part.
you
Okay,
can leave
because
it
we're
on
in the
missing
last
anything.
section
So to
now.
my audience, thanks for sitting through the whole thing. I know you don't have much of an attention span, especially because you're not used to this type of content on the channel. Don't laugh. Live streamers only turn into video essayists when they're extremely nervous. Look, first of all, I want to apologize for making it so difficult to be a fan of mine and a member of my community. Seriously, I'm sorry. In this respect, at least, you know, I think I've let you guys down. I think this is a great community, you know, exceptional even. And as a consequence of my obstinance and carelessness and stupid fucking debate bro hypotheticals, many of you have been ostracized from other online communities or harassed on my behalf. The content of this channel and my messaging is unambiguously...
Who has harassed them? Who is... I am not harassing people who watch Vaush. Who has... This is that parasocial shit that President Sunday was talking about. I'm a victim and y'all are a victim too by proxy. This is the parasocial shit that President Sunday is talking about.
Aggressive and inclusive and good-spirited, you know? It's... That might not be the popular conception of me and my content, but it remains true nevertheless. None of the people who enjoy my content for those reasons expected, I imagine, to be pushed out of other communities with similar values because they were a part of mine, because of me and my reputation. Yeah, I don't want that to continue being the case, but I don't really know what I can do to change it. You know, there's already such a massive gulf between what I know I am and what people think I am. The inertia of the uncharitability that I'm trying to push back against, it just feels overwhelming at times. While I'm working on that, you can help, you know? I want you guys to chill. Stop fighting on my behalf. Stop arguing for me against others, especially on the subject of this video. That's one of the reasons I made this video, you know? I saw so many people in my community tirelessly arguing against the worst and most dishonest shit people say about me, and I wanted them to have something that they could point to. This video, 5 years of drama, of bad...
Okay, listen. To all you defenders out there, if you think this video did any favors for him, y'all have lost your minds. Don't argue for this video. I'm telling you now, don't argue for this video. Don't do it. Don't put yourself there. Just still keep your mouth. If you haven't said anything, just continue not to say anything. And if you have said anything, I'm telling you now, don't go for this video as a defense because it's not there. Just be quiet. Yeah, just be quiet. Don't say anything.
Bad faith bullshit and honest skepticism condensed and addressed as clearly and as honestly as I could. If you're in another community and someone is giving you shit because they think you support a pedophile, point them to this video. And if they don't want to watch it, then that's that. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. It's their choice, right? This is something that we've seen time and time again. People don't just change their minds because you've argued them out of a point. I mean, it's very rare. You have to make people want to believe. You have to sell them the argument. And if the argument is that this community is good, then hey, or that I'm good, look, there are ways to do that. right? You know, you can. I'm not saying it's pointless to be a positive advocate for this community, but I want you to be just that, a positive advocate. Don't let me and this space and all the people who are a part of it be defined exclusively through raging against the constant, pointless bad faith drama. You know, don't let that be what this is.
Where was this drama bad faith? You're the one that downloaded the drawing to your folder and got busted for it. What is bad faith about that? You're the one that looked at that drawing and you supposedly know anime and you know hentai and you know all that stuff. And you're the one that looked at it, decided, yeah, I might want to wank at that. And you downloaded it. Where is it bad faith when you did it? Where is it bad faith?
You know, to be frank, nobody's ever been sold on a YouTuber because they saw a fan of that YouTuber passionately arguing that they're not a pedophile, right? When have you... It doesn't work. That's all people see looking in from outside this community, you know? A lot of this is me, you know, a lot of this is my fault, but as a natural consequence of my particular kinds of brain damage, the people in this community like arguing, and it's very frustrating to a lot of the people in this community to argue a point that seems absolutely, completely, inarguably straightforward, straight line argument, no way people are going to disagree with it, you know, something about me, about the community, and then other people don't respond well to it, and it's frustrating, and it feels like you're just battling nonstop against tides of irrational hate, and to an extent, yeah, but what is arguing against it this way done? What has it gotten you or us? Not much, I'd wager. There are better ways to make these points. Talk about the good bits, you know? The funny bits, all the good arguments, the fundraising for charity or the canvassing or positivity or life advice or whatever. There are lots of good things to talk about. You know, I remember a while ago, someone on Twitter, they got upset with me. I don't remember why. It was a trans advocacy account, and there were people in their community who were also in mine, and they got upset with me. So people following them replied, no, don't go after Vaush, he's cool. And that trans advocacy account tweeted, why do you all like Vaush so much? Like, seriously, what's with all this defense? You know, what has he done for you? And what resulted from that was, and this has been archived, you know, it's something that I look at, you know, I'm man enough to admit I get a little misty-eyed. Hundreds and hundreds of people talking about how me or the community, this community, has been or have been instrumental in helping them in some way with regards to their identity, their acceptance, their ability to defend themselves.
That has nothing to do with the fact that you downloaded Lolly on your computer. Bad people do good things all the time. And just like good old President Sunday once again explained, that's how you got away with it for so fucking long. Because of what you have done for other people.
Themselves against bad arguments, that's good, right? I mean, that's a good sell. I don't think that I would remember this with the same fondness that I do now if the response from my community had been like, I don't know, trying to debate them on how, like, it's illogical for you to not like Vaush. How could you not? You know, like, I don't think I'd remember it if that was what people did. Of course,
I'm going to be honest with you. He could start crying right now and I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm going to be honest with you. He could start crying right now and I wouldn't give a shit.
Kind stories didn't actually work. They deleted the tweet asking for him and nothing changed. But it's still something we can point to. It's something I can think of. Be positive. Be the sun. You know, I don't know if it'll really make a difference in the long run, but I know it can't. It can't hurt to try, right? It's a better sell. It's a better argument. The odds are better. Feels better too. We're going to be positive. We're all going to be. Not just you. Me too. We're all going to work on it. Speaking of making a difference for this community, I'd like to address the irony posters in particular. For years now, a large part of my community's culture has been defined by the way I and my audience respond to people who accuse me of being anything bad, sexist, racist, homophobic, transphobic, pedophilic, whatever, like any of that. And I've received plenty of legitimate, well-intentioned, honest criticism, but a lot of it is insane and dishonest and just flatly wrong. And when people are acting dishonestly, it feels like there's no point in responding to it seriously, and that's when the ironic shitposting really rears up. And boy, is there a lot of it in my community about the pedophilia accusations, about everything. It's all a big joke to some people. And by the way, I don't mind jokes, but for this subject in particular, the one in this video, the jokes are done. Full stop, done. No more ironic, okay, buddy, Vaush, pedo jacketing. No more memes. I don't find the subject funny. I have never found it funny, to be honest. But I have been weak and indecisive. And
You never found it funny? You just talked about how you were making those jokes before. You can't say you've never found it funny. What? Bro. What?
I was worried. Telling the shitposters to cut it out would give the impression I was trying to hide all this, all the accusations, when I'd already addressed them so many times. Engaging with constant edgy...
Okay, I don't know if you know this, Vaush. I don't know if you know this. But the more you tell people to stop, the more they're going to keep going. When there is a meme about you, you literally, whether you like it or not, you literally have to grin and bear it until people get sick of doing it. That's Tipster's biggest mistake. He would fight against it. Or try to lean into it too hard. You have to grin and bear it or ignore it. And then people will get tired of doing it. Believe me, I know. I've had so many different memes about me, it's ridiculous. Did I like most of them? Most of them, no. Some of them I thought were actually kind of funny. You have to grin and bear it. Whether you like it or not. That's the only thing you can do. Because the more you complain about it, the more people are going to do it. I mean, look what happened today. Just in the chat. When I was like, bro, I know Nick is going live. Look what happened. You see how many people in the chat, oh, you need Nick's going live? See Nick's going live? Because they made a meme out of it. That's what people do. You can't just stop it. You can't just tell them it's done and over with. No, you can't do that. That's not what happens. The more you push against it, the more they're going to do it.
Ironic pedo jacketing from my own community always made me feel a little sick, but it was a kind of acknowledgement, and I thought it looked better than trying to quiet it all down. You know, those bad faith pedo accusations against me, they're so addressed that I can make jokes about them. Look at how over it I am. Yeah, using irony as a shield, blah, blah. Clearly, I was never over it, and I think that I've given the impression of having a community that doesn't...
Oh, I feel like he is going to get tore up with memes now. Oh my God, he just opened up the floodgates for people to meme the shit out of it. He's going to have half of Twitter fucking blocked. I bet you that's going to be one of the outcomes of this. He's going to have half of Twitter blocked. He's probably going to have half of the fucking commentary community blocked. Because these fools over here, once you tell them that you don't want that, oh my God, they go 10 times harder. Oh my God. This is going to end so... Oh, Lord. You done made a mistake, bro. Oh my God. You made a mistake saying that shit.
Care whether those accusations are true or not, rather than one that has been irreverent about not believing them. I don't think that's actually the case, but clearly impressions mean a lot. You know, like I said, it's done. You can keep making the horse jokes, by the way. Everyone loves the horse jokes. Have you seen all the people out there in the drama circles trying to get all serious about them? Fucking jokers, I tell you. Anything involving child abuse.
I mean, yeah, I put horses and lollipops on my thumbnail tonight. I was like, you know, I really want to make a cute thumbnail with like lollipops and horses. Let me see what I could do. And I made a thumbnail with lollipops and horses. I mean, what?
That's a serious subject. I understand outrage, scrutiny. I'll make a whole video essay addressing it. You know, I'll take it seriously. But the horse thing, you know, so I say I want to be a big horse, the big horse dick, a big whoop. You know, who doesn't? Everyone does. It's not serious. You know, people try to, because this is how the drama thing works, right? You know, it's all one big like, look at all this bad, whatever. But if you equate, I mean, again, I really, really do think through all of this, I've well demonstrated, you know, that the pedo jacketing people do to me is not justified by the evidence at all. I think there's a much more charitable and accurate explanation, but it's still a serious topic, right? So when people equate that serious topic with like, oh, he wants to be the horse, if you equate those two things or like hold them in equal regard, or you're jumping back and forth between making horse jokes and like serious pedo accusations, I don't know, that just comes across weird to me. Does that make sense? Like that like it betrays to me, I guess, like a perceptual unseriousness. It makes me feel like it's all just a big nothing and no one actually cares. You know, I don't give a shit about the horse jokes. You know, it's all like content mill drama bullshit. Like, who cares? Nothing matters beyond its ability to get like clicks or views. I don't know. Yeah, just dumb to see that. You know, there's a lot of work to be done. This is an election year. A lot of news has happened.
Oh God.
Greece has legalized gay marriage. That's pretty cool. They've reinvented being gay. I know I've always been on the back foot when it comes to good optics and making friends, and that's never been easy for me. And it's going to be a lot harder now. But I guess that just means that I'll have to try twice as hard to do and to say good things and give people a good impression of me. I don't know if it's even possible to climb out of an optical black hole like this, but I believe in the work that I do, and I think I've got a pretty great community. So, you know, maybe it's possible. You know, I'll be back to streaming soon. I've already missed too much news. Don't get into any fights over me. It's fine. It's a good community. Be positive.
Bro, that was the biggest hour and 41 minutes of word salad I have ever seen in my life. What the hell? Oh my God. Oh my God. That was horrible. What the hell? Where is he at? Hold on. I see Chris and Narc live. I don't see... Where's Nick? I don't see Nick being live. Hold on. Hold on. Why didn't it show up for me? It's right here. Okay, hold on. Copy. All right. Anything else on this? Because I can't raid into him. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. When I close off this stream, I'm going to give y'all the link. And I need y'all to go raid into Nick and demand why Xylie can't raid into him. Okay? Yeah, damn right. You go in there and say Xylie raid, and why can't she raid into you? No, it's not because I'm blocked. I'm a mod in his chat, Tom. Shut up. So we just give him views? Of course you give Nick views. Are you kidding me? Oh, God. You know what? I have one of the trolliest chats ever. And y'all are a pain in my ass. But my God, I love y'all. Y'all are a huge pain in my ass. But I love y'all. I don't care what anybody says. You jerks. Every single one of you. Alright. Go. Go. Right in. Right in. Tell him Xylie sent you. And ask him why I can't raid in. I'm going to have to tell him how to set that up. Yeah. Tell him Xylie sends her regards. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.